fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, each hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Greetings, fellow beings. Ho ho! That's right. It's the not so late night culture show on Mother's Day because that's right. Mom's important. Moms are important. You gotta honor the moms, and that's exactly what we intend to do this evening. So, without further ado, here I am. Hello. That's right. It's the not so late night culture show because it's Mother's Day, and I'm having a great Mother's Day. I know the moms in my life are having a great Mother's Day, and there's more to come. I think that's good. I think we should be very thankful and grateful for mom. And no, I'm not the normal person that you see in our, group in the fellowship at this time because I'm several hours earlier than normal. And why? Well, because I have other obligations later today that going early allowed me to do this. And, of course, we have the amazing Lorena Creole, who has an incredible channel. And normally on Sunday nights, we do Welcome to Florida. I don't believe that show's happening tonight. I think, if I remember correctly, we're taking that tonight off for Mother's Day. And it looks like no VR, no Valiant Renegade for Mother's Day. So I have a little break before I do the next part of Mother's Day. So here I am with you on a not so late night culture show. And we have some first time guests here who I'd like to say hi to. We have some folks that did some very, very generous things right at the beginning. But let's start at the top. Say hi to Davina Duckworth. We've got Cloud Sailing out there and our good friend, the Avengers Rising. Peltz is seeking board seats at Apple, Warner Brothers. Yeah, he's trying to get in there and disrupt. We need real disruption. More power to Peltz. We got Josh Hammond in the house. Thanks for checking in with us yesterday on the member stream. We've got Chuck Chenker. I don't know, but first time here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Senker. Please let me know how to spell your name. If it's a take on the political guy from YTY or TYT or whatever that is. We got Snowdub complaining that I didn't say we were going early. I did. He didn't look in the chat. I think his complaint is I didn't give a time. And he's more than welcome if he can get here to be here. But I wasn't counting on anybody from my normal panel because it is a holiday. So there's that. We got Walter Tomaszewski out there, which is great. Cynthia Carter was like, yay! I'm glad you got a notice and welcome. Rodimus Supreme is in the house. I appreciate that. You guys are great, wonderful, and incredible. And of course, our good friend Scott Westbrook is very, very, very generous and gives 5 Culture Casino memberships. That's right. Oh boy, we've got, let's see. I think I saw that. Erica and Raph are here. We've got, my goodness, look at all those memberships. Dr. Megatron, what's up, my friend? And Gwagnar, it's good to see you. It's been a minute. Used to see you every day. We've got D. Bud Martin in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Stitch is, where's the AOA? That comes at the end of the show. And be sticking around for that. Because, hey, I'll highlight whenever I see it as I see it. So the Eeyore Eeyore song is the closer. That's right. Toxic Man Flu said, good thing you told your producer about this. Hey, I am a terrible person for trying to give my entire panel the day off if they so chose. I did communicate in the chat that we would be going considerably earlier. So yeah, here we are. So, but I apologize to everybody for going early. Stitch is in the house. We got Dave Cable in the house. We got Randy Thodo in the house. But Walter Tomaszewski comes in with a huge $10 super chat saying Paramount is the Frankenstein together company of odds and ends that once worked until pop culture changed, and it didn't. Redstone can't sell it as no one knows what to do with it. Well, what's interesting is the people that are part of her, the small percentage of people that can vote, because she controls 77% of the voting stock for these matters. They aren't happy with the deal because they don't feel like they're going to get a fair deal, and she is. And then they'll be, a partner with somebody else, maybe that, maybe that's not so interested in their interests. And that's going to be their complaint. Of course, there won't be a partner because it'd be an outright acquisition, I believe. So that'll be interesting in and of itself. Let's see. Play your new clip. I don't have a producer here to play it, Tox. I don't have a producer here to play it. So Randall Orser's checking in with us from Canada. Welcome. Argentum is out there. Hello. We've got the lovely Sherry. Greetings, dear. Hope you're doing well. One more super chat. We got for $9.99. Or no, it's not. It's $5. Oh, darn. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Godzilla V Kong is a stupid, dumb movie. Yeah, but it has a lot of heart. I agree with you. The girl is to keep everything, is the key to everything. Yep. But I don't care. I love the film. No, it's fine. And Jeremiah, I love dumb, fun movies. I am a rubber monster movie guy. I enjoy Kong, Godzilla. I enjoy the old Universal monsters, the Frankenstein, and everything else, right? Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. I love all that, right? And I love Gwagnar, who's in the chat. So, yeah, those are my jam, but if they're either good or they're bad. I mean, it's okay though. If they're a fun movie, what's my favorite film? Somebody in the chat, let me know what is my favorite film. I'll give you credit. You guys know what it is. Argentum says, I remember Culture saying abridged today, not early. It's going to be tight too. Yeah, I got some stuff to do. Hey, what's up, B Clay? Good to see you. Oh, I love this dragon lizard. Cool. But Mr. Buttcrack Media, hail to the great Culture Casino. No, hail to you, the man that keeps it flowing, Mr. Buttcrack Media. Phoenix Knight, what's going on? Kremlon, look at all these great people. I love this. This is good. This is good. I get to say hi very early to everybody, like Death Angel Shadow. You got awesome moms out there. That's kind of going to be the thing we're going to talk about today, because I want to talk about TV moms. So don't answer just yet. But think about TV moms who think we're great moms in TV. Dean H, what's up? Did you know that VR wasn't happening tonight? Yeah, we kind of communicated in the back. Yep. In fact, I asked him, I texted him and said, bro, you going to go? He's like, nah. Okay. Toxic man flu for $5 out there. Says, hey, you did this to avoid me playing your new special bumper, didn't you? I can't say no. I can't say no. Graph Web, the most consistent person on the internet, says hashtag cancel Disney Plus. That's right. Not a bad choice. Of all the worthless streaming services that are out there, and there are several, Disney Plus is the most worthless. Seriously. Very little of the stuff you want to watch is on there. And, there's a bunch of filler garbage on there that only tells you about the message. Or it puts up a warning message to tell you, these are not acceptable views. That's, again, trying to rewrite history. Neo-Marxist, trying to destroy history, make everybody, quote unquote, equal. That's all communism, socialism, neo-Marxism. That's all that is. So Disney is a compromised entity that abandoned Americana, American values, and family long, long ago. And for a company that controls an awful lot of the cultural zeitgeist in IP, they don't know how to use it. All they know how to do is destroy it. And that's what, all of those ists and isms do. They destroy things. So, what, Marky? How's the other side of the world? You doing good? I hope so. John Gibson's in the house. Griffin Turbo. Holy cow. Great to see you, Griffin Turbo. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Yes, Argentum. Yes, moms are important. And you are correct. My favorite movie, Showgirls. There you go. Jeremiah Hembry. Favorite movie. So, and it's terrible. It's a terrible movie. That's right. Sometimes a movie can just be a movie. That's right. And you know what? For a good movie, Fall Guy. The Fall Guy was a good movie. And because it made no money, it's not going to get the kind of love that it absolutely, completely, thoroughly should receive. Because people just aren't going to theaters. That'll be something we talk about a little later in the show. I do want to venture into that area because I think that'll be a good second half discussion. Mrs. Flu, good Mother's Day to you, dear. I really hope you're doing well. You're a great mom. Great mom. Real Steel, underrated. It is Culture Casino's favorite. Well, it's a great fun popcorn movie. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, right? The artistic value is not really all that high, but it's nostalgic in a way that it adds an element from the 80s and 90s action films to like robot fighting. So it's like, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. Yeah, Toxic Man Flu says Showgirls. no, Dean H. No, Godzilla 98 is Yellow Flash. Yellow Flash is Godzilla 98. So yeah, remind Yellow Flash. Remind Flash that that's his favorite movie. Yeah. He'll thank you for it. Lovely Sherry. Your favorite movie is Captain Marvel. No, it's not. Josh. Oh no, not Bros. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you haven't seen this, when I'm done with my stream, if you want a really wonderful video, go watch the Quarterings. Bud Light sent me a package. Do that. Andy Masterson, you shall not pass. Did you really? You're really working on that, aren't you? Yeah. Sorry, I'm sending a message to Lorena Creel. Sorry for the dead air. All right. Yep. Lorena's show is really off. So yeah, she just sent out a message on Twitter. So she's amazing. Yep. Yep. It's a bummer because I'd have been quitting anyway, just to make sure that she got her time in if she really just changed her mind. But you shall not pass. So yeah. Anyway, the reason I highlighted that was for the reason I highlighted this here is because over on the quartering, that video, pretty good. You're gonna want to watch it. It's really, really good. Make sure you make it past the first couple of minutes when he opens the package. Oh, it was lovely. We got 69, dude. Nah, it's 121 right now across all platforms. Yeah, something like that, Tom. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're having a good Mom's Day. KMG! Kiss My Grit says, Peggy Bundy, greatest TV mom of all time. You jumped the gun, but let's just start there. Let's start there with the subject of today's conversation, or at least the first one anyway. But Peggy Bundy, what do you guys think? Good mom? I mean, nobody died. That show was really just pure genius, right? Despite all the lower level middle class kind of humor and everything around it, I feel like it kind of depicted the time very well, and the dysfunction in an American family where they all have they all are very deeply damaged people. It was an interesting twist on some other types of sitcoms from the couple eras before, but yeah, Peggy Bundy was great. I don't know. I mean, watching Peg walk around the house, with the cigarette floating around her and everything else, and those high heels and those ridiculous skinny pants. It was. I mean, she read like a Vegas cocktail hostess in the 80s. I mean, that's just what she read like, or like maybe the manager of a gentleman's club somewhere off strip. Was what. But definitely a great character. My great friend, my pal, my buddy, and the guy that I think we all love, or we should anyway. If you don't love Drunk 3PO, tell me why. He's amazing. But yeah, Jay sends me a pair character saying, keep it up. No, you keep it up. You keep it up, brother. You keep it up. And let me know who your favorite TV mom was. And then we're going to talk about film moms. Happy Mama Day. That's right. Yeah. Some people are blessed with two moms. True story. Toxic Man Flu for $10 says, okay, both Tom and Drunk 3PO are here. Play it. Play your special new bumper. Only if Jay is still here. Jay, are you still here? Jay, are you still here? $10. Donut Lord, what's up? What's up? Oh, Drunk 3PO is just sending a friendly message to Toxic Man Flu to say hi to his sister for him, because that's a thing. Hey, Olaf. Yeah, a little bit of an early stream, my friend. I hope I didn't catch you sleeping. Thank you, Mrs. Flu. Smash that like button. Dragon Master, got to hang out with Dragon Master a little bit yesterday on the member stream. That was fun. High Roller stream going to be coming up later this week. I got Jan Monroe out there and Zacharot315. Great to see you. D-Bud's doing work. Yep, I had to sneak one in, Olaf. That's true. Hey, hemorrhoid hurts. I'm sick, but I'm here. Well, I want you to get better. Welcome to the Mother's Day special. Mother's Day. Rodimus Supreme. No. The quartering got their package. Yeah. I don't know how to say some of these things. You just watched Ted. It's basically a Family Guy project. Yeah. Hey, Rick Carrera, good to see you. Prayers for Steve Buscemi. Okay, somebody clue me in. He was punched by maniac in random New York City attack. Okay, now I'm irritated with the world. Hang on, kids. We'll bring this up. I need to reset my news notifications because clearly I'm not getting half the stuff I'm supposed to get. All right, folks, I'm going to share this with you. We'll be learning it together. Learning it together. Sorry, put the Mother's Day thing on hold for a second, folks. Add to scene. There it is. Whoop. Boardwalk Empire star Steve Buscemi punched by maniac in random NYC attack. Holy cow, well, there he is. Xavier Israel, 27. Wow. Okay, get this off my screen. Don't want this. Unsubscribe. There we go. It seems no one is safe, yada yada. Buscemi, 66, was strolling along through Kips Bay last week when a brute walked up and struck him in broad daylight attack, one of the latest unprovoked assaults in the 5 boroughs, law enforcement sources told the Post. The actor suffered a swelling in his face, left eye, and was taken to Bellevue for treatment. Meanwhile, his deranged assailant took off and is still on the lam. Oh, maybe it wasn't the person that they identified in the video. All right, so he's okay and appreciates everyone's well wishes. All right, well, that was good. So the random attack happened at 11:48 a.m. on Wednesday. So there's the guy. He's not identified. There's a very fit person who's not wearing socks. Well, maybe he is identified. So the NYPD arrested a deranged vagrant, Xavier Israel, 27, in the assault, which took place around 7:45 p.m. So Israel previously been arrested for assault and robbery in 2022. Wow. None of this is good stuff. Well, we're all informed now. It just occurred to me. None of you saw that. There's the story. The guys are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, there's Steve. I guess he's going to be okay. Here's the guy they were looking for. Oh, and it was Michael Stuhlbarg that was attacked and was struck in the neck with a rock. And the deranged person, Xavier Israel, was actually the person arrested for that attack. This is happening far too often, folks. If you live in New York, I wouldn't be crazy excited about living there. Let's just say. Thank you, Eclay, for that. Appreciate it. All right, let's go back to that and that. Cool. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to get distracted, but didn't see that news yet. I'm scrolling. Got Olaf here saying, hey, Culture, fancy seeing you at this early time for €2. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Death Angel's Shadow says, Mrs. Cunningham, Carol Brady, Jill Taylor, Vanessa Baxter, and Claire Huxtable. All good choices. Hey, Tway Wen, good to see you, my friend. I'm usually 15 to 30 minutes behind. That's because I don't have a producer today. When I don't have a producer, it is what it is. Okay, $2 says, play the clip. All right. Hey, Drunk, are you still here? Just because, $2. Thank you, Mrs. Flo. Did I miss anything else? Oh, Jeremiah Hembry, good to see you again, my friend, in the chat. This time with your member chat saying, why did the Fall Guy fail? I don't know. I think people don't trust theaters anymore. I promise you we'll get to it in just a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to mark your message so we don't leave it to fail. I'm scrolling to the bottom now. Oh, wait. Toxic Man Culture, play the clip. Drunk 3PO. My sister still thinks you're cute and says hi. Well, that's a lot in a super chat. Thank you for the $5. I'm so behind. All right, you were right. I am right. What's up, Dustin? Okay, happy Mother's Day. For those of you just joined, like Matt G. I don't have a good time in the theater anymore. Too many cell phones. Oh, yeah. No, indeed. All right. So I caught up with the chat. Even Jay is here. Good to see you, Jay. And, all right. I'm going to play this clip under protest. Is it the one that says Gary clip? Is that the one? Okay, guys, this has a bad word in it, I think. Okay? This may have a bad word. Okay? Okay. So, if you don't like bad words, mute for just like a minute. I'll wave when it's safe, okay? Okay, here we go. Super fucking gay. Yeah, that's not exciting. Thanks, Tox. I played the clip. I think that's going to have to be like a high level like clip reward for like a massive super chat or something, because that's rough. Argentum thought I was going to play the Gary clip. I'm not playing the Gary clip. I did not play the Gary clip. Everybody calm down. At least you found it funny. Yeah, thanks, Soda. Yes, I know you helped, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I'm going to put credits on there, courtesy of Toxic Man Flu and Tom. What's up, the gaming dude? All right, more great television moms. I still think Marion Cunningham from Happy Days was incredible. I think there were several great moms. Hey, Carlos Alfredo Lopez. I'm sorry, Donut Lord. I apologize. So I was like, you made Drunk 3PO stay for that? It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. Anyway. Jonas is in control today. I wish. I would never interfere with people's Mom's Day like that. So, Toxic Man Flu adds another $5 to my pocket, saying yes. Okay, very good. Thank you for your service. At least he didn't send you there's a clam video? Jay? There is? All right. Culture, please no more pigtails. I can only laugh. Oh no, I will. I shouldn't have highlighted that. Tom did write the music. Yes, he did. He writes the songs. Yeah, Peg Bundy we started with, actually, Dustin, right before you got here, bud. Yeah. Lorelai Gilmore. Well, there you go. Kitty from that 70s. That's right, that 70s show. I loved her character. In fact, every time she plays a character, I'm like, oh, she's so great. I mean, she screams like 50s to 70s mom, right? I mean, just her. She screams that. She's like perfectly typecast in those roles. So good. So good. I got you. E. Clay Thomason says, for $5, play the clip again. Why? It's just terrible for me. Hey, Keith Howard. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I really, really do. I know you're very busy. Carolyn Jones is Morticia Adams. Indeed. Wow. Yes. Oh, man, the Adams family. Morticia was a cool mom. Cool mom. We need Mexican Iron Man stat. That would help. June Cleaver. Thank you, Dean H. That's right. Leave it to Beaver, Mom. Peg Bundy's not a good mom, but very funny. Well, I mean, in her own way, I mean that is not a functional family, right? It's very dysfunctional. Happy Mother's Day, Captain Krusty Heart, and hail everyone. Finishing up promo for my show start in July. Awesome. And here you are, didn't have that one on my bingo card. Glad you're on. Well, I'm glad you're here. And thank you for your very succinct comments on YouTube. Oh, you're right. Nolan Thunder, one of my compatriots over at That Park Place and WDW Pro. He says, Mrs. Incredible is good. That's right. Check out Nolan Thunder's channel. It's a lot of fun. So is this guy, Keto Simple. You know. Deborah Jo Rupp. That's right. That 70s show. That's right. She's really good. Oh, that's right. Lily Munster. Indeed. You know, those were great. I know it's weird because they're both like kind of these monster concepts, but those are just both great genius shows just about a different kind of American family, right? Yeah. Death Angel Shadow. Kitty reminded me of my own mom. Everybody came to my house to hang out. Didn't have a basement, though. We were in Florida. Yeah, well, low water. Yeah, you can't really do basements well. They have to build a vault basement. A vault basement. And then you have to drive pilings so it doesn't move. Mexican Iron Man is with Mexican Iron Mom. That's right. Low spec. You guys want me to play the clip again? Hey, I met that 80s mom, Dee Wallace, back in 2019. She was a sweetheart, really. Awesome. Thank you, JB Spooky Review. Hope you're doing well, bud. Okay, I'm going to ask everybody here, since we got a lot of people here. Did you thank Mom today? Did you say Happy Mom's Day? Thank you. If she's still with us, if she's still in your life, did you say, hey, Mom, thank you? Happy Mother's Day? Because, it's kind of important. Kind of important. I'm just saying. Could you make any use of the video I sent you? If not, I will try harder. I think it's going to work. I'm going to work on it some more. But to be fair, I think that your portrayal on Mr. H's, the intro I did for you, is perfect. But if I can improve it, I will. Martha Kent. There you go. A little Superman thing. Yes, Claire Huxtable is a great mom. Prior to finding out anything bad about Bill Cosby, I would have suggested that was kind of the perfect family show. I still would. It's just he get a little ooh from that. But I mean, honestly, there was no better. I mean, that was your mom and dad, right? That was America's mom and dad at the time, America's family at the time. And ironically, I grew up in that era where, we were eliminating a lot of racism and was disappearing. There were only a few ignorant people in the world. So much so that it had to be manufactured in the last decade or so. So there you are. Sarah Connor. Great mom. That's right, Southern Viking. We move on to the movie category. Argentum is cooking dinner for mom. That's right. Good on Hang on. Voice is going weird. All right, more better. All right, yep. Cooking for mom. That's a great thing to do. Great thing to do. Oh, good for you, Carlos. Good job. Everybody did. Everybody said, yay, mom. Good for you. What's up, Eldritch Lord Haster? Good to see you, bud. Awesome one. Took care of mom today. Nolan Thunder's like, call your mom. That's right. That's what dad does, especially when kids get older. You know, they're in college or adults. And dad picks up the phone and goes, did you call your mom today? You have a card for mom? Get your mom flowers. Tender Warrior 68 says, yes, good for you, Tender Warrior. Toxic Man flew for $2. Says, I worked 10 to 15 minutes on that clip, Snowdum. Well, thanks for the $2. Andy says, I will not be speaking to my mother today. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. Keto says, yes, sir. Awesome one hugged her. Eldritch Lord Haster did. I send a prayer and thank my wife. That's right. There you go. Olaf gets to see mom every 2 weeks. That's great. Sitch says, I did give my mom a silent prayer. That's right. For moms that are no longer with us. You know, throw in some for grandma, too. I don't think... it's kind of a weird argument, right? To not respect mothers. Because kind of without the succession of women, you wouldn't have a continuation of the species in your lineages. So the matriarchs are key elements and sacred, which is why, you know, they're protected. Sounds silly, but it's how we've survived as a species. So Evie from The Mummy was a cool mom. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can definitely put your head in the I can probably superimpose your thing so that it has some transparency. So yeah, I'll look at that, Olaf. We got our great friend, our wonderful human being, Stuntbrat777 Smith. Culture. I'm a mutta. Yes, you are. And congratulations and happy Mother's Day to you. Hugs. LOL. Speaking of people who do things and stuff and are often, you know, everywhere on the internet because basically he runs it. Jason is joining me today. Happy Mother's Day to your familial arrangements there.
Thank you. I will pass that along.
Good, good.
I had a conversation with Mindy earlier when I took her to dinner. And I told her I am very glad that she gets along with the kid.
Oh yeah.
I'm extremely grateful for that. So I'm glad he likes her. She likes him. They get along. It's a good arrangement.
I don't know how anybody would not like Mindy. She is a delight. But, anyway.
She is. How you doing?
I'm good. What else did you do on your lovely Mother's Day?
I helped set up a bar. So for those who don't know, my day job sometimes involves stagehand work and AV tech and that kind of thing. So yesterday and today, I helped set up an LED video panel wall.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
That's the base of a bar for the Monster Energy drink booth at the Casey's convenience store convention they're having tonight and tomorrow.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So yeah, I got I got to fight that.
Which size did you put together?
There were like
No, but which brand? How big was the total wall?
36 panels, just 18 by
Okay.
2. It's
Yeah.
the face of the
It's the
bar.
base.
It's right under
Yeah.
the bar top.
Yeah.
And it took forever to figure it out because you gotta match the bar top curve so it's all flush. All right. So there we are.
Well, I have to tell you, when you work on one of those that goes inward, it's more difficult.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You have
absolutely.
to loosen the spacers and tie them together and you get that. So like if you're building out like a big old volume like style with like it's like 40 feet high and 120 feet or curve.
Yep.
It's insane.
So everybody in the chat is saying that our volume is mixed up too much. Either you're too low or I'm too high.
Okay, let me sort that out on my side. Let's see.
I'm never high because I don't smoke.
Let me double check. Probably maybe. I hate to say it. Oh yeah, I'm way low. There we go.
How'd you do that?
I went to Windows. I went to the sound thingy. And I right-clicked the little speaker, went to sounds, went to recording, double-clicked on the DLZ creator, went to levels, and noticed that Windows had turned it down from 100% to 70%.
Mine has gone down as far as 35 at times.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does it. It's something recent in an update in Windows, and I don't know what it is, and it irritates the heck out of me.
Yeah, and technical issues aside, I have to ask you because I asked the audience and you weren't here.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite TV mom?
A favorite TV mom?
Hey, Jose.
Southern Belle says I'm still too loud. Okay. Well, a favorite TV mom.
Okay.
Hey, that's hard to pick because you got your sitting your 80s and 90s sitcoms moms.
That's fine. Yeah, pick any.
You have your
floor is open. Well, let me get this while you think about it. Tina says,
"Yeah, let me think."
Yeah, you think about it. My mom passed when I was a kid, but I'm grateful for her. I love and miss her every day. Yep, Tina, it's fantastic. Anyway, thanks for being here, Jose. It's good to see you.
I'm lucky that I still have my mom. She is what is this year? 81. She was born in 43. That would make 81 this year. She'll be 81 this week, actually. I'd say probably in the science fiction line, a good mother is Sarah Connor from the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Well, yeah, but also the film.
She had a lot more. She had a lot more depth to her in this. They gave her more to do then.
Yeah.
And of course you've got Danger Will Robinson's mom from Lost in Space.
Oh yeah.
And then in the general realm, there's Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. She didn't take nothing off of nobody.
I have somebody being a little funny in the chat here, but and I want to say, Eldritch Lord Haster. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of hospitals either, and I'm sorry that was where you had to see your mom. But hopefully that's temporary.
But at least they let you in to see her.
That's true. There was a year and a half where they were being terrible. Cyrano 2960 says Edna Turnbald was a good mom. Well, also a man in the Hairspray. Is that right? Yeah.
I don't know.
A little humor there. I'm so sorry, Andy Masterson. I am. Like I said. Wow, Dave Cable says today was my mom's birthday too. Oh, okay. So did you get her two things? Come on now, Dave Cable. My mother, the car. You guys are great. I don't know. There's so many of that. Oh, Sally Field and Still Magnolias. You know what? Okay, so Did you ever see Soap Dish?
I did not.
Sally Field, Princess Leia. Her name just fell out of my head.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. RDJ. Kevin Kline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a list of names, right? The pretty blonde that was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue, thank you. All of them were in that film. And Sally Field, I think, was Elizabeth Shue's mom in that, if I remember correctly. It was so good. That film is funny.
No.
So you have to watch it. Marge Simpson. I don't know. Good mom? Probably a good mom.
Martha Kent.
Yeah. We talked about Martha Kent.
Yeah.
Hosea says Carla Gugino in Spy Kids. Hubba hub.
Yeah.
Okay. Hot mom is a different conversation.
Is Sydney Sweeney a mom yet? I don't think she is.
Stop it now. Stop it now. You guys are on fire. What's up, Sean Carter? I vote for Padme as one of the worst. Yeah, no kidding. Giving birth to twins, but was so hung up on her bad husband. She gives up on living. Some strong fighter she was. Always bugged me how she gave up on him. Well,
there's a theory out there, and it's been played with a little bit in the comic books, that she didn't necessarily die of a broken heart, like is portrayed in the film, because the idea of Palpatine basically kind of siphoning off her life energy through the Force in order to make Anakin more susceptible to falling to the dark side. That's something that's been around for 15, 20 years. So you're muted, Culture. How'd you do that?
I didn't. Somebody did. Anyway,
Do it.
I got that Bruce Springsteen song in my head. On the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm with you, Sean Carter. I think that was kind of garbage at the end there. Keto Simple going for a joke. Pamela Voorhees. There you go. Yes, my son, the serial killer. Let's see. Okay, Stunt Brat. It was a good movie, right? Great honor of all the stunt trade. I thought of you in that film many times. Many times. I really do hope you're having a good Mom's Day. I really do.
I've got to finish my review of Planet of the Apes tonight. I've been slack in getting that out. I liked it.
Yeah.
I debated posting a review of Fall Guy because they're making a science fiction film in the movie.
Yeah, which
in
was
universe.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
I'm like, well, technically, this isn't really. This is a rom-com adventure. It's not really a science fiction film.
No. Well, I called it a rom-com adventure film, like
I agree with you.
Jewel of the Nile and Romancing the Stone,
absolutely,
and The Mummy, and I mean, because that was a rom-com with a little bit of that horror element in there. I mean, the first one anyway.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mizu, what's up? Victor Fontaine. I loved going back and forth with you today. It's cool talking to somebody who focuses on this. Fall Guy is flopping very hard. It's a real bummer, too. Looking to lose $100 million, and it's not a bad movie.
I'm hoping word of mouth helps it pick up a little bit.
I hope so, too. It's a good movie. Good movie.
Because now it's counter-programming to Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that. That, even at its $56 million domestic or whatever it looks like it's going to be, it's still not going to perform well. Vic and I were talking about this today over on Twitter. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. I didn't think this film was going to do giant money. It's in the 100 million globally right now, over 100 million. But I think it's going to fade fast because, it added an extra day with the Wednesday preview, so it had a long weekend.
Mm.
And then you had you're going to have a certain amount of fall off here. I imagine probably close to 59% fall off next weekend. So it's going to be
You
a little.
think that much?
I think
You
so.
think it's going to drop that much?
All right. Did I fix my volume issue?
Oh, is everything good?
I keep turning you down. Happy Mother's Day, Davinia Duckworth, indeed. June Cleaver, that's right, from Leave It to Beaver.
So I got told something today.
Uh-oh.
Count this as a rumor.
Yeah.
Disney's talking to Apple. Don't know about what. Might be talking about selling something to Apple.
I think my first guess or jump there would have been to partner with streaming to create an aggregator, because that's what they're doing with Warner Brothers. So they're gonna try to set themselves up as the aggregator, because they're trying to see themselves as a tech company.
But what if they're getting ready to sell Pixar back to Apple?
I don't think it would be successful. But what I do think is successful or could be successful is the Muppets. What do you think, Jolly?
Well, we need to make Muppets great again.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Yeah. Good to see you guys. Happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful moms. I got a question for this awesome chat you got here, Culture, that tuned in today. I just want to read a tweet message that I got, X message from CultureCasino about what time this was going to start. It says, "So I think I may push forward the late show and make it a Mother's Day special." Now, I just want to ask your chat, does that sound like he's going later tonight or earlier?
It could be a toss-up. I could push forward.
Forward, I usually think, ahead, like later.
Yeah.
Although,
really, when you're talking about time travel, pushing forward doesn't necessarily. I mean, forward is not necessarily the term that you would use. If I'm going to push forward in time travel, I'm going to a time that's later. So yeah, if I was going to push something, I think pushing something would take it to later. Pushing forward kind of puts that in that gray, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly space.
Okay. Well, regardless, where we went earlier, so there we are. You said you wanted to do something later because I'm trying to support you, Jolly.
All right. Well, next time, say I plan on doing the show earlier than usual, please. Okay, thank you. I was literally in the middle of washing the snow sled when you went live, and I'm like, what's going on here? Anyway,
sorry about that.
You're okay.
Cam Crussy suggests that Samantha Stevens from Bewitched was a good mom. I would say yes. Yes.
That show had a spinoff, right? With Tabitha as an adult?
No, I don't.
There were two pilots. Lisa Hartman played Tabitha in the second one, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't go.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, there were two pilots.
Wonderful. I didn't know that, but I love that show. It was so good. Mrs. Flu suggests Reba, and I would say, the first show she did was great.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Dr. Crusher. I'm sorry. She might have been a good mom, but she raised Wesley.
Yeah, right.
And he's a nuisance. He's an internet. No, but honestly, no. You're right.
I need to figure out when this week to do number 700.
Yeah.
I've got my I've done 699 episodes.
Donna Reed, excellent mom. June Lockhart.
June Lockhart. Yeah, I've interviewed June Lockhart's daughter, Anne.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
There you
it
go.
was at fan days down in Dallas 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, if you didn't know, this guy, Jason from Sci-Fi for Me TV, has been on YouTube since it started, probably. I don't know, for a long time anyway. And and he's unfairly suppressed on the tube. He's got a lot of great interviews, so check him out. Books.
Yeah, we've got 15 years worth of we've been doing stuff on YouTube since 2012. Somebody else had the thing, so it says we've been on since 2007.
Ooh.
But we haven't been. We started in 2012.
Okay.
And the site started in 2009. We started in 2012 for YouTube when I've managed to get the name, the username. So, but yeah, we've got close to 6,500 videos. I mean, we've got a whole library of shows and interviews and all sorts of stuff going back now 12 years. So,
wow.
You have homework.
Yeah, you're doing good. So, we'll get to a few more Mom's Day. So again, a reminder, if you're just here and you haven't wished your mom a happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to all the moms in here and elsewhere. That's right. The Rogue Attraction. Thank you. You can check out his channel too. He'd take you on a theme park tour all the time. All right, let's get to a few more, and then we will roll on to our second subject for the night. Wow, I am way behind on the chat. I apologize, everybody.
I need to address Nolan Thunder. My channel is snowed up.
Yeah, that's jolly.
Ad snowed up there.
Yeah.
And please subscribe to A Puppet. Yeah, we're about 150 away from 3K.
Yeah, you're getting close. You're doing well.
Moving up in the world.
Oh my gosh, yes. Louise Jefferson. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Laura Petrie. Oh, Rob.
Are we talking about your ex-girlfriends?
No,
what are we talking about?
That was the Dick Van Dyke Show. Laura Petrie.
I don't know.
Roseanne was a good mom. Okay.
Oh. Did anybody say Ripley yet? Or are we just doing shows?
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, we spread out the films, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin says, are Muppets low carb? Well, I think they're all roughage, to be fair. All right, let's move on to the next subject. What do you guys think? You wanna? All right. So movie. There was a movie that came out, believe it or not, this weekend, and it looks like it might be for a very short, rough go at the box office. I saw it. I gave it a review, and for me, the film was okay. It wasn't stellar. It wasn't bad. It was fun in its own way, but it wasn't going to be like the breakout hit for anybody, including Disney. And of course, I'm talking about this film with the longest title ever, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Okay, that's not the longest title ever, but it's a long title. It's a lot of words. And domestically, its box office performance is $56.5 million. And that's fine and all domestically. And it did get...
Do we have the overseas numbers yet?
We do have some of them, yes. It looks like it's going to be like roughly 60-some million. So it's going to be in the 120-ish, 128-ish, somewhere in there thing. So it's okay. We're going to have to see how big the fall off is. Uh-huh. But you can see it's already starting to fall off through the weekend. So Now, mind you, this May 9 number was 6.6 million. This May 10 number is actually a combination of the 9th and the 8th, which isn't listed here. So it ended up at that 20. So it looks like it fell off more than it did at 22.2 million for Friday. Saturday it made 20 million. So there's that. And then it fell off considerably on Sunday, 14.3. Well, there's a lot of factors for that, including the fact that today is Mother's Day. And again, these are box office estimates based on history versus pre-sales. So this number is going to be close, but we'll have actual real figures for all of this either later on tomorrow or Tuesday morning. But internationally, it did business. It just didn't. It's just okay. So it had a pretty decent budget on it. It certainly wasn't cheap, and that's a lot of CGI work. It also was part of a 9-film plan that Fox started. We know, or at least I believe we know, that we're going to get at least 2 more films in its own trilogy cycle.
Well, Wes Ball is hoping, is the interview that I saw.
Right.
So, I guess a lot of it's going to depend on how well this one performs.
Right. Well, the reported budget's $157 million. We all know that's probably not likely to be everything. We also know that this film they did spend some money on for ads and print, so their marketing budget's a bit higher.
Well, and this one being the 5th? Is it how many we have so far? This is the 5th one?
This is the first of the second part of the trilogy.
Okay. So it's but this is the how many of these particular ones since the Franco one? This is number 5, right? Or 4?
I think it's either 4 or 5.
Rise, Dawn, War. So this would be the 4th one.
Yeah.
Well, because Weta has been doing the effects,
the
yes, motion capture for that, and they've probably got this thing down to a point where it doesn't cost as much to do now as it did the first one.
Well, which is why the budget was only about 157. I would guess it was probably closer to 175, but
well, and that might be a saving grace. I mean, it might actually perform better comparatively speaking because the budget was lower, because they didn't have to spend as much to develop the technology because they've done it already. Maybe.
That's actually a good thought processes.
I try, and I can be trying at times.
No,
but
no doubt. All right, let's back up a little. All right, so here's our film. There it is. Click on details. Here we are. Let's make a comparison to Planet of the Apes movies. How about that? Dawn, Rise, and War. All right.
They want you to compare the Garfield movie. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's out. It's out internationally this weekend. Next weekend it'll.
That Garfield movie. All right.
Yeah. All right. So okay. So here we are. Everybody can see this, right? I'm in the right screen. Yeah. Okay. Let me make it and big in it. They don't need to see us. All right. So let's see. 2011. It cost $93 million. That's cheap. Think about how cheap things were in 2011. So Rise made $470 million. If anybody wants to grab their inflation calendar and look at how much that would have been. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was 3 years later, made $710, which is the largest grosser of them all. July 14th of 2017, we had a global worldwide box of $489 on a $152 million budget. This is a lot of diminishing returns after 2014. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, starting off at 56. So opening domestic weekend, 56. That is in line with War of the Planet of the Apes from 2017. None of that is good. What's the difference? 56 million is a 2017 number. That's not good.
Nope.
It's not good. Speaking
You're
of,
so funny.
speak.
We love culture.
Oh
Would you
man.
like half of this slice of pizza?
Yeah, I'll take half of that sliced pizza. Thank you.
Hi.
They can only hear me on the back end. They can't.
No,
my live.
I brought you.
Oh, dang it.
Hi, Doc.
So culture in 2014, $710,644,566.
Yeah.
Would be $937,571 or $571,972.95 in today's dollars. So that's a 31.9% inflation rate.
Just for fun, in today's dollars, what is $56,262,000?
So 56.
Yeah.
500. Okay. So that would still be a 32% inflation rate. So I've got to flip these numbers. You're asking me to do math. And damn it.
No, just put in.
They have these little machines.
That would be 42,824,000.
No.
What?
What is from 2017 to
2017
to today's dollars?
So from 2017 to today's dollars, 56,500,000.
Sure, but it was 56,262,000.
So 56,262.
Yeah, and then find out what that is in today's dollars.
In today's dollars.
Yeah.
So calculating it in today's dollars, that is 44,154,000.
No, you went the wrong way.
No. In 2024.
No. Okay, I have it highlighted on the screen.
You want 2017 to 2024.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you wanted to reverse.
No, strike that.
$71,689,602.43.
So, wow. Okay, so this should be closer to that then, right? I mean, this should be $71 million if we're calling it a stellar weekend.
Well, the ticket prices also went up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was the average ticket price in 2017 as opposed to 2024?
Oh, I can't even. Don't make me look that up right now.
I can look that up.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Stitch is out of here for $5. Says I have to sign off to moderate a friend's live stream. Well, I appreciate you being here, Stitch. I truly do.
You have friends?
I do.
Awesome.
Stitch does for sure. Thanks for the Mother's Day special, and happy Mother's Day to all mothers. No, thank you, Stitch, for your amazing support, and do enjoy your friend's live stream. That is fun work. I loved moderating all the streams I used to moderate. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I played that clip
today. The average movie ticket price is $13.75.
Okay.
And in 2017, it was $8.97.
Okay. Holy cow, it's even worse than I thought. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's
butts
not...
in seats. Yeah, the butts in seats numbers are not good. Wow. Oh, it's worse.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look at the numbers anymore. You can't look at the straight number of what they're making and all that stuff because they're baking in pricing. And how many of those seats actually have butts in them?
That's insane. It's even worse than I thought, though. That is not good.
Let's see, 8.97 divided by 13.75.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Peter Venkman site. This is why I stay at home. Yep.
So let me ask you this. How fair is it to compare equivalent dollars between 2024 and 2014? I mean, the value of the dollar has changed. The price of things has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Are we fairly comparing the two, or are we getting into apples and oranges because of the difference that's so?
It depends on the math
between the two.
Yeah.
All right. So the difference in ticket prices is 37%. So there's a 37% inflation in ticket prices from 2017, okay, to 2024.
Yeah.
The in inflation dollars, it was a 24% difference. So tickets have gone up 37% from 2017 to 2024, where inflation's gone up 24%. So it's even worse for a film today, because it's not, I just can't use an inflation calculator. I've got to use a ticket price inflation calculator to figure out what those are. In fact, it would probably be better getting the average ticket price and multiplying that by the number of people that saw the film, and then doing the inflation difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to build a spreadsheet that does that then.
Yeah, because there's no way. There's absolutely no way that they're making the kind of money that they were in 2014.
Yeah,
none.
I think that's sad, but I know this. I knew this. The Fall Guy is on a better path than Challengers.
I 100% believe that they intentionally sunk the Fall Guy.
I think so too.
Maybe.
I think that Hollywood put it, because when they're doing one of their films that they want to push, it's in all of these woke websites. It's pushed on Facebook. It pushed all this. I didn't see any of that crap for Fall Guy. The only time that I saw stuff for Fall Guy was when I was in theater.
You didn't
see
it
a preview.
You didn't see it in Slate.
No, you didn't see it in any of that stuff. So they knew it was a good film. They knew it was a masculine type film, a throwback, and they intentionally let it die on the vine.
Right.
No normies are going to see that.
Right. And Vic points out, this is what I love, is Vic and I think about things like this, but the IMAX ticket is in 2019 was $13, and today it's $19. It's $6 more. And IMAX is a huge part of the big film market, right? Because everybody wants to see it on the biggest screen, right?
Not so much anymore.
I'm not a big fan of IMAX. Okay, fine. It's a big. It just doesn't. It doesn't enhance the experience enough for me to want to spend a ticket.
People are in a crunch right now. The inflation is through the roof. People are paying more for groceries, gas, their insurance, mortgage, rent, you name it. And it's putting a squeeze, and people have to start cutting back on luxuries. And even the Starbucks is taking a hit in their stock quotes right now. If you have stock in Starbucks, they did a real tank job over the last few weeks, because people are not buying those expensive coffees anymore. They're making it at home, and that's the same thing with movies. Unfortunately, you got guys like me and Victor in the chat there that are, avid collectors of physical media. Yep. And a lot of us will just be like, well, if it's good, I'll kick back and wait and buy it when it comes out.
Yeah, I think Tom does that, proportionally as well.
This is the first time in my lifetime, that renting was cheaper than buying a house.
Oh wow!
And it's not cheap. I mean, I'm sorry, rent is not cheap right now.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not.
Well, the state that I live in, percentage-wise, has lost more high-dollar jobs than any other state in the country. And people are just moving out. There's absolutely no reason to live in New York, California, or Illinois, right? Wow. With the tax rates and stuff. I mean, my tax rate, with federal and state, my tax rate is almost 70%.
Yeah, and this is the other problem, right? Insurance is going through the roof because of the replacement costs. And, that's where homeowners and vehicle owners and everybody's going to get it in the shorts. Do you know where the financial centers are moving?
I bet you it's somewhere in Tennessee and Miami, Florida.
Florida, Tennessee, Charlotte, and
North
Texas.
Carolina. Texas,
yeah.
I know if I was incorporating a business today, it would be in Texas, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down, that's all I would do.
Yeah, it's very weird. Peter Venkman fan site says, my new landlord said he'll be raising the rent soon. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'll give you a reason why that's happening. Is property tax. So my county property tax, they were illegally charging us X amount for like decades. So people would go to court and get their rates reduced. Okay. So they decided to pass a law to make what they were illegally doing legal.
Yeah.
All right. So that raised the rate. And inside that law that they decided to change, they said that they could go back and retroactively collect all the money that was illegally taken and then get that they had to pay back. They could take that back from us. So this state has had an exodus of almost 1 million people in the last 3 years. And those of us that have stayed are going to have to pay for those people that left and are no longer here to go retroactively go back and collect the tax.
Wow.
It's amazing. Our property tax, because of that, is going up 30%. And it's hard. Even if you own your own home and you're on a fixed income, forget it.
Well, and look, and not to enter into a political discussion that this will definitely become here in just a second, but did you guys see that there was an area in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, that elected to become its own city, township?
I saw that.
Yeah, incorporated themselves. Huh?
Yeah, and they did it largely because of the deteriorating school districts and things like that around them. But
wasn't crime a part of that too?
Well, I'm sure it factored into it, but they ended up doing it. They finally got it through the Supreme Court, and they said, absolutely, you can secede and establish yourself. And immediately the area around it started to castigate them and use slurs, calling them bad names, all of that stuff, because they realized that the entire tax base was the people they were ignoring and putting out and everything else. So they seceded.
Don't hack off the upper middle class, but you think that they say, oh, we'll tax the rich. You could tax 90% on all the billionaires in the United States. You wouldn't gain.
Nope.
Because what would they do? They move all their money offshore.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they've already done that.
Or they would move it into areas that aren't taxed, or they would move it into other states that weren't taxed, and they would establish a household there. You know, and again, I mean, for the people who can afford to still live in the Bay Area of San Francisco and Oakland and all of that, I would never live in Oakland, but anyway, you know, they're only there because, you know, they like the weather at this point and some of the lifestyle elements, but the vast majority of things that used to make that area, or the Bay Area of San Francisco amazing, or even the area that's just around the Tenderloin or whatnot, all of that's gone. Any incentive to be there is gone. The shopping area is gone. There's nothing left in the shopping mall. There's nothing. Corporations have abandoned that area because the price doesn't. It
CVS, gone. Yeah. Walgreens, gone. Walmart, gone.
And they're trying to levy fines or taxes or some other this or that on corporations that are leaving. That's going to make corporations leave faster.
The corporations are flying them the bird on the way out.
Yeah.
Said, bring it on.
All right. There's one thing you got to say, and this is probably the most important thing. And then we can move on from this, really, guys, because we don't want to get too political. I know culture doesn't like to do that. But think about where you were at 5 years ago, and think about where you're at today, and just go ahead and vote accordingly.
That's right.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is a great idea, Mark Daly. I had to highlight it, so thank you. Yes, a remake of Showgirls with Sydney Sweeney. Basic Instinct. Yeah, I'm all for it. I think it'd be incredible. But real quickly, I just want to remind everybody we are here because it's Mother's Day. We are so very early. TZ Burton is correct. Mothers rock. And if you still have mom around, hopefully you gave her a call and said Happy Mother's Day. And if mom's not around, hopefully you said a prayer and thanked her, because you should thank your living mother as well, because guess what? They are the whole reason that we're here, and we love them.
All right, I need to interject for just a second here, because this is bugging me now that I'm looking at it. Jolly, did you shave half of your beard off?
No, it's just
it looks different
goatee,
tonight than it normally does.
Yeah, his goatee's a bit off. Yeah.
Oh well, it was Mother's Day, so Mama Son was sitting on my face earlier.
Oh,
We were just.
I thought maybe Miss Piggy came back for the pigtail stream.
Oh, and Tina, you're 100%. You're 100% right. As much as I loved the weather in NoCal, SoCal weather is the absolute best on the planet. Plus the lifestyle's great. Plus better surfing. Plus.
You want good surfing? Go to Hawaii.
Seriously. Oh yeah, for sure. North Shore is fantastic, but there's some other places the locals, if they like you and don't think you're a haole.
Oh, Kauai on the North Shore there. Yeah. Watch out for Tunnels Beach on Kauai. They call it tunnels because of the currents that will come in and take you out to sea. So
well, and like one of my favorite spots has a massive hole in the rock in the lava where at low tide you can walk through to the other side of the beach, but at high tide, not so much.
You can't.
Because it's full of water.
The road doesn't go all the way around on Kauai.
No.
Because of the Pali Coast and all that. You can hike 2,000 to 3,000 foot up through the mountain, and sometimes it gets to be like 1.5 feet wide, that path. People do that all the time. I'm like, nope, not me.
I did it in flip-flops, so not the best footwear.
Young Culture was a very spry Wookiee.
I was. True story. But Jay, thank you for $5. Says VR knows people who were involved with the Baton Rouge situation. I bet you he does. I'd love to talk to VR about this. Even off the record, I'd love to get his thoughts because he would know. But I mean, Baton Rouge is twice the twice the state average of crime. Twice the state average of crime in Baton Rouge alone.
I don't doubt it.
I lived in Baton Rouge when I was just a wee puppet, about 8-9 years old. And I remember going to school there, and that's where I really incorporated the yes ma'am, no sir. You didn't call your teachers by their real name. You addressed them as ma'am and sir. And it seemed like a friendly place, with a lot of friendly people and very, very polite. So it must have changed a lot there in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Well, Hawaii's changed a lot in just the last 15 years. The
paved over paradise.
Yeah. The 3 acres there, it was ag land, and the taxes were lower and everything else, and it just some of the restrictions and things were you get to be comfortable with, but relocating or acquiring water and other things became a real issue, and disposal and stuff like that. So, but look, I mean, you have great states: Florida, Texas, Tennessee. We can talk about just some great places. North Carolina's okay, but as far as fuel costs and everything else, in the right spots in South Carolina, you might be better off. So, it comes down to your cost of living. What you can afford, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate.
Well, every place comes with pros and cons, right?
Yeah. Mexican Iron Man moved to South Carolina. He loves it out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mark, you got
the water.
Your power's back up. That's good news. Lots of power outages, of course, and Tennessee got pounded. Holy cow!
A lot of rain in Texas too. We've had it for the last 3 weeks.
They also had the swirly clouds and things.
Yeah. Speaking of what you can afford and how much things cost, I put this link in the chat if you want to talk about it. The Willow numbers are actually out now.
Oh, let's get it. Pull them up.
Willow.
Whip it out.
Orbs.
Willow, the television show?
Yeah, this
oh,
show.
No.
What, wasn't that like 2 years ago?
Yeah, well, we've now found out that the budget for this thing was higher than anybody says it was.
All right,
it was.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Woo. 150.
Let me embiggen a little bit here. So,
wow.
Caroline Reed reporting in Forbes, Disney's reasons for axing fantasy streaming series Willow after just one season appeared to be getting clearer as it has come to light that the budget for its 8 episodes surged to a staggering $156.8 million, giving each one an average cost of nearly $20 million. Now, I must needs point out that's still cheaper than She-Hulk per episode.
Well, I mean, this show was half the size.
You and Randy Soto were thinking the same thing. Love it.
Despite the colossal amount spent on the series, Disney has pulled Willow from its Disney Plus streaming platform, and its filings reveal that work on a second season has been abandoned, even though its executive producer, Jonathan Kasdan, has described it as being on pause. We're never going to see it. Sequel, based on characters. Disney acquired the rights. This is Lucasfilm. At the time it was commissioned, the pandemic had thrown much of the world into lockdown, leaving consumers craving new streaming content. Disney was eagerly adding shows to its platform in a bid to attract more subscribers than its rivals, and no expense was spared. How'd that work out for them? So, yeah, $156.8 million.
Insanity.
For Willow.
I mean, it's such a beloved movie, and they destroyed it.
Yeah, they should have spent some of that money on script.
Oh, no. Well, I think the whole showrunner thing is a problem, right? So the showrunner used to be what? I know they were there, but now the showrunner is the director and the writer.
Head of the writer's room, executive producer. Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. So you got somebody running around doing every job not well.
Yeah, and that's the other problem with all of those. But Vertical Horizons got it right. Comics was extremely disappointed when the Willow show got cut short.
He was, and I tell you, if he could have reached his desk, he would have done a video.
I'm sure. Yeah, that was before we got him the booster seat.
Yeah.
The thing is with this whole showrunner thing, and this comes out of the writer's strike, because when they were talking about one of the things that they wanted as part of the strike, their conditions, they wanted a minimum number of writers in the writer's room. Right. And you have a lot of these people like Taylor Sheridan or Ryan Murphy or, all of these guys who are writing all themselves. I don't need any writers. I don't need a writer's room. Now you're telling me I'm going to have 3 just to sit there while I write everything. And the other part of that is that your showrunners become the head writers become the showrunners, executive producers. They're wearing multiple hats, but they also fill in the category, the requirement for the number of writers in the room. So when you get to the end of it, your writer's room minimum becomes the maximum. And they don't hire any more writers other than the 3 required. And then they're all executive producers and writers. And so, there's less work. And every show is doing it. Willow wasn't the only one. Every show is doing this now. Well, and it was, it's killing the writers in this industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, you could have come in here and no, this is not what you think it is, and no,
Dutch rudder.
Yeah,
wow.
This is
what is that?
He's talking dirty to us.
I'm not going to explain that, and don't look it up. It's not. That's not knowledge you want in here.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Windows is messing with my mic.
Yeah, you might want to bring some.
The Dutch Rudder is a song by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, but it's also just okay. Don't look up Urban Dictionary or anything.
Right.
Just don't do that. Anyway, so let me add to that, Jason. They're also reducing the volume of shows. Hollywood's gone. I mean, whether or not you follow Gary on Twitter or Neurotic on Twitter or anything, he's 100% right. It's the reason that we saw this coming is like peak TV isn't existing anymore. Streaming is a giant failed experiment. Mm-hmm. They're having to aggregate together just like the old days in cable. All of us predicted this, I feel like. And
not only that, but ABC, there's a number of different writers groups on Facebook that have been talking about this. ABC has killed their entire development slate for fall.
Really?
No new shows. 30 shows, dead, gone, not in development anymore. They never will go to pilot.
So this is a far cry from 4 years ago when they would order series, They would order a series. They weren't even ordering a pilot. They would just order a concept series and just go with it. They don't have that money anymore.
That was the Netflix mean, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Netflix did it. Everybody did it. Go ahead, Jolly.
Well, didn't everybody stop hiring for creativity and started hiring just so they would fall in line with their agendas?
Oh, shut your mouth, you conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on. What is wrong with you, buddy?
Why?
Just throwing it out there,
Buddy, come on. They wouldn't do anything like you're making me use hand gestures now.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm doing this. No.
Okay, well, as far as Willow goes, people forget half the reason that movie was successful was because George Lucas was so hot at the time. I mean, he was on fire. He was slam dunking the best trilogy that we've ever had at the time. I'd say Lord of the Rings arguably might be better now, but it was hot off the heels of Return of the Jedi and all that by George Lucas. So of course we've flocked to it. That magic is gone, folks. That ship has sailed years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney tried to capitalize on that nostalgia, but it wasn't there.
Right.
Mad Mardigan was a great character. I mean, he was basically Han Solo,
right,
in a fantasy setting
with a sword. Yeah.
But I mean, there's a reason why the melodrama and the 4 basic character archetypes have worked for over 150 years.
Yes,
it's a good storytelling medium, and you're right. It just. Yeah, it sucked. I was looking forward to it because I really liked Willow. And when they emasculated Mad Mardigan after he died, I'm like, come on. It's you had Ben Solo kill his dad right in front of us. And you can actually, when he died on screen, I could actually hear Harrison Ford say, "Oh, thank God."
Well, he wanted to die in in Empire. Going all the way back then. But yeah, real quick, I want to grab this comment from Mark. From the beginning of the stream, we were talking about best TV moms and then film moms. We expanded into that. And Mark, I agree with you. I think maybe one of the best moms, if not the best mom, was Marion Cunningham. Best mom character. Peg Bundy, best mom character, Peg Bundy. And best lady that you're interested in, Barbara Billingsley. Well, there you go. Thanks, Mark. I love it.
I guess Princess Leia didn't turn out to be the best mom, huh?
Not great. No, we actually...
Neither did Padme. She just fizzled out real quick.
Yeah, and Subhuman, what's up? And Raid Specialist, what's up? And
where's Puff?
Hey, right.
Putin's cat. Putin's cat says companies for a very long time have been hiring for their own personal agenda, and it shows. And it showed everywhere, including in the shows. Yeah, Val Kilmer is very, very ill. I wish he would have recovered quickly and not gone through everything he's been through.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had aggressive form, and it came out.
Hey, Tim's here. What's up, Tim? Right. The Willow show wasn't bad once you got past the first 30 minutes when everyone was, doing things to each other.
Right.
What?
Right.
Wait, it's supposed to be a kid's show.
Yeah.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, Tom.
Night, Tom.
By the way,
I looked up that Dutch rudder thing, and it's a power-assisted rudder system. They use it in every ship in the world.
That is
great. Yeah, Mrs. Fleven said good night, Tom.
Yeah, good night, Tom.
He's not looking at the right definition.
Oh, no, I saw the other stuff.
Oh.
But, I mean, it's an actual thing.
Oh, my gosh, I forgot about Growing Pains.
Yeah.
Joanna Kearns. There you go.
Wussies. Roseanne was the best mom in entertainment. Hands down.
That show was the last time Leo DiCaprio dated a girl his own age.
Wow. True story. Jonathan Conroy says, I would love to see the money break down some of these shows. The bloat has to be insane. Yeah. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, I don't know how California is surviving without Hollywood money. The well's gone. Jason says if they've stopped all development on all their shows, then they obviously know they're not making any money off of that at all.
And CBS has done similar. They haven't gone quite so far as to cancel everything, but because they're doing, ABC's got this deal with Ryan Murphy now, American Horror Story Ryan Murphy. You've got Taylor Sheridan out there doing 6,000 different shows. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're going with the auteur and, law and ordering everything.
Well, but again, Sheridan's fantastic. Everything he does is fantastic. Tulsa King, the Western show that everybody loves, Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shows he's putting together are brilliant. Ryan seems like a one-trick pony to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are a few.
Who else are they going to get?
There are a few.
Look where he's
others out
setting
there.
his shows, though. Montana and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Where do they not put up with this bull?
Exactly.
Montana and most parts of Oklahoma. The Oklahoma City's turning into some kind of Austin light.
Which is not
freaking
good.
Texas. Texas should have taken care of Austin a long time ago. And you Texans out there, I'm so pissed at you for not doing that.
Wait, what are you sitting out this round? What?
Hopefully it's the horse sitting out for another round.
Yidhus,
Save a horse, ride a cowboy there, Irate.
Says tech money. That's exactly right. They're out of
there's no
money.
tech money anymore either.
No, the VC. By the way, one of the reasons that we had so much consolidation, you can point to Google primarily as destroying all future tech because they just kept acquiring anybody that was making anything cool and through their own private VCs that, that were tangentially related to them.
Wait. Private feces?
No, VCs, venture capital.
Venture capital.
I mean, it's kind of the same.
Well, I guess,
I heard feces.
It smells the same.
You mean like Viet Cong? Or I'm way off here, aren't I?
It's
Jolly, come back from Da Nang, buddy. Come back from Da Nang.
Sorry,
it's okay. It's okay.
Flashbacks of Nom.
Get a rope and hang me.
It was Jolly who taught me what the term tubuku means.
Wow.
Wow, that's too big.
You'd be surprised what you could get for just, $20.
$20?
Oh, would you stop it? Stop it.
You'd probably get a whole row.
Anyway, so yes, Yiddish. I think that's how you say that. Tech money. Yeah, it's gone. It dried up. It's drying up. It's not completely gone. Now there's only a handful of pockets out there that are throwing money at their agenda, and it's a guy that we could deport and confiscate all his cash if we wanted to, which would leave his son penniless.
So let me ask this: if the tech money is drying up, as it is, and Disney reportedly is what I've been told is talking to Apple about something, that couldn't necessarily mean a tech thing. I mean, I know we're all speculating that Disney is going to become an aggregator for streaming and whatnot, but
that's what I speculated.
But if the tech money is drying up, what would be Apple's interest in anything having to do with Disney?
Because they have such a nascent and ignored streaming platform.
Yeah.
So you don't want that anymore.
But Apple has a history though of letting their creators kind of do their thing, right? Because they distribute it. I mean, look at what they did with Argyle. They just bought it and they distributed it. They didn't tell them how to make it.
Well, they clearly didn't, get the right concept in their mind when they did that. But yeah.
But what if they buy something like, not necessarily like Pixar, but what if they buy Lucasfilm? What if they buy Fox from Disney? Now suddenly there's a studio.
Yes, but wouldn't you assume you're going to be even worse shape?
Apple's got money to burn.
Well, exactly. Wouldn't you think that would put us in even worse shape? Because Disney burned through their money. Disney burned through their money, right?
Right, and Apple's not going to have money for long.
You don't think so?
No, because you can't. The way that Apple makes money is by constantly increasing the price of their iPhones by 20% every year.
Mm.
So they are already at $1,300 for a new iPhone.
Yeah.
You can't reasonably pay that off in a year. So they aren't getting any more new money out of that.
Well, and think about the headset that they have out there. Okay, so you have a $1,500 to $1,900 phone. You have a headset that's ridiculous.
It's about $600.
Yeah.
Don't forget the new flat iPad.
Yeah, that was a terrible advertisement. But the new super thin iPad is going to be ridiculously wallet breaking. Mm. So even if you are of the cult of the Mac, right? You're spend $6,000, $8,000 every year to upgrade your gear.
Who was the dude that was the chick that was in Juno? Elliot Page. Did they get Elliot Page to advertise the new flat iPad?
Oh
no, have you not seen it?
No, I don't want to see it. Please,
I'm not going to show it. I actually got a copyright strike on it because I ran through the spot on the show Friday, and because the commercial used as Sonny and Cher, I got dinged for Sonny and Cher. I'm like, I didn't use it. It's in the spot. We're making commentary on the spot. I'm just like, you better bet I'm disputing this claim. Thank you very much.
Right.
Oh, it's a horrible spot. It is so nihilistic and
the way Apple
anti-creative. I mean, it's like, we're going to take all of this creativity and we're just going to crush it down because it doesn't matter. Because now you've got this thin little device machine thing.
Wait a minute. Mexican Iron Man says, none of you guys have any idea what we're talking about related to Apple. I am an Apple user, and we are a bunch of crackheads on high-grade cocaine when it comes to Apple products.
Yep. And also, Mexican Iron Man's Apple phone was the first one to go dead when we were at Universal Studios.
Oh, really?
And Snow Kid's Samsung Androids held out tough, though.
That's funny as hell.
You know why? Because you can't turn off an Apple iPhone.
Oh my God.
They won't, because the Apple iPhones over the last several years, I can turn off my Samsung, it'll turn off.
Right.
However, when you turn off an Apple iPhone, it doesn't turn off, and it continually looks for other Apple iPhones around to connect to give your personal information to about where you are and what you're doing. So through Mexican Iron Man, the man knew where Snow Kid and Jolly were.
Oh boy.
At all times.
Well, Snow Kid used his phone to recharge Mexican Iron Man's phone. Does that mean that the Snow Kid's phone's now infected?
It's more insidious than that. I used to
Apple 19.
Not the children.
I used to go down and shoot some video for workshops in Bentonville, Arkansas, for companies that they were getting taught how to get their products into Walmart. Here are the different things you need to do. Walmart's got a system where they can use the internet and the IP and the GPS on your phone and your history of purchasing things. And let's say you're driving past a Walmart in Phoenix, right? You're within a 6-block radius of the Walmart. And Walmart knows that you've been buying Heinz ketchup for the last 6 months. And so Walmart is going to ping your phone and send you an ad for Heinz ketchup.
Yeah, it's
on sale this week. Yeah. And then your social media is going to start showing up Heinz ketchup available at Walmart. And when you go to Walmart, then they track all of that. They're tracking all of your purchase history. They track, it's all geolocation stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it is so
insidious.
1984 Big Brother. It's crazy.
It's a tower carrier agreement that triangulates your location in real time. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff has been going on for the better part of a decade now. One of the things the phone's able to do is figure out where you are in proximity to towers, and it's how it does the bounce between towers. You do the pass on, right? And so it's like I said, they've figured out, okay, well, let's track where the phone is. Let's do all of this stuff. Let's see where the phone is always connecting from. Then they know that's where home is. It's just a lot of other data comes out of your phone, and if you
are the product.
Yeah, and again, it will also, when you turn on the internet, it asks you, do you want more precise location? Because then it connects to more towers and figures out exactly where you are. But anyway, Putin's cat says, and this is a good question: does anyone care about young Sheldon? I wouldn't give an F about him or his previous adult incarnation. We need real science in this country, indeed. Yeah, I tuned in to the first couple of episodes out of slight interest in what it was going to be, and checked out immediately.
I saw a side-by-side photograph of the kid from the first season and the current season, and people are like, "How long has this show been on?"
Wow.
Because he's, shot up like a weed. It was crazy.
Boys tend to do that.
They do. I'm still waiting for Comics Division to have his growth spurt.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this.
So is he, and you're going to be waiting a long time.
Argentum's like, I'm using an iPhone 7. Yeah, a lot of people have been using the older iPhones safely because the new stuff is a little more compromised. And again, I have Mac and I have PC and I have Android and I have iPhone. I have all of the various types of tech. So I'm agnostic when it comes to tech. I have no particular, what do you call it?
Preference?
Alignment, preference, affinity to any of that stuff.
I still have
Skill.
I still have 2 monitors that run off a VGA cable.
Yeah.
And this camera right here for Todd is still SD. It's not even an HD camera. So
and that's why we love those images from it.
Maybe that's why you can't see Todd's skin.
That could be.
Yeah. It's translucent.
Might want to get him a cheeseburger or something.
And he looks like Twiggy,
right?
The 70s model.
Yeah, there's too much money.
He looks like Zendaya. Anyway, did you see the Ape movie, Culture? Did you do a review? I don't know if
what.
We did a review of the Ape movie. Yes.
You did the monkey.
Yeah, I really look. I'll say it here, and look, if you haven't seen the review, please do so because YouTube didn't send it to anybody. But it's an Ape movie. It's meh. If you like the franchise, you'll like the movie. If if it's not your bag of tricks, then you're not gonna go for it. I think it is what it is. You're going to see more of them. I think Disney's going to need that money. Speaking of which, hey, Jolly, did you set up your show for later? Because I can redirect people there if you did.
Oh, no, I'd love that, but it's not my show. I'm going over to Tony Stark's channel and hanging out with him tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
He does a late night show.
Still alive?
Kind of.
I thought he died in the movie.
Well, he claims he's Mexican Iron Man's cousin. So
Cap said
Mexican Iron Man has cousins?
Please
he's Mexican. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Excellent night. Party on, dudes. Be excellent gamblers. Thanks for being here, Cap. Across your heart. Sorry.
I love how Culture tries to be a wholesome, wonderful, I'd say man of faith on these shows. And I love how the higher being, power, whatever you want to say, has placed me here to provide him with opportunities to overcome.
Well, hey, you're the best producer that I get for free. Subhuman 84.
Ouch.
Backside of the Planet of the Apes.
Wait, here we go. Wait. Now I got to duck you.
Thank you.
I'll go down here.
Sir. May I have another? What's up?
I'm going to stand down here now.
Let's see.
Oh, wait, I could be like Culture. Well, if that's the way you're going to be.
Boone's Cat says, Culture Casino is like Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah, a little bit. I'm a little extra fuzzy today.
He's looking pretty good for an old guy.
Yeah, well, I need to get out there and play tennis again. I went to do that little bit for my Zendaya Challengers review. Nobody watched that either. Because YouTube decided that after the end of April, they hated me. But anyway.
They hated everybody.
Yeah, they're hating everyone right now. I have never seen so few views. But anyway, I went to play a little bit of tennis, or at least, serve the ball a few times, and realized I need to get out here and do this again. So, yeah, I got to play more tennis and golf. All right. He said cultured, not curdled. Thanks. All right. Anyway, I love it. Guys, is there any... Oh, wait, we have a super chat I wanted to get to. You've almost forgot it. Almost forgot my friend Jeremiah Hembry for another $5 helping to sponsor tonight's show. Godzilla X Kong over $500 million served. $550,375,464.
How much did it cost him to make that movie?
A lot. I think it's less than $100 million, or it was the first. If Tom was here, he'd say it off the top of his head. But I think I think it was between 85 and 115. One of those two numbers is in my head. Let's see
For
which one
Godzilla,
was right.
Godzilla X Kong?
Yeah, it was much
Is
less.
that cheap?
Was much less than I expected.
Their entire CGI budget was 30 to 50 million, I think.
It was not. Yeah, it wasn't. Again, they have all those models, so I mean.
Well, I did read a little bit of news yesterday. I guess Rick Moranis was offered a good chunk of money to be in this last Ghostbusters, but he did turn him down.
Yep.
So I don't know if
he's been out of Hollywood for a while. Was he the one where his wife died?
Yeah.
Cancer, and then he just, I'm out. I'm dealing with the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, the budget.
Is he dead?
No. No, he did get punched though, kind of like
he got
Buscemi.
He had another just like Buscemi recently.
Oh, that's right. He was walking along and he got a hit.
Ryan Reynolds brought him back for a Mint Mobile commercial.
Yeah, I remember that.
Real quick, the budget for Godzilla X Kong on the low end was 135 million, so I was off a little bit. So
somebody said Tom 3 times and he showed up.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You want me to bring him into the scene?
Of course,
Mr. Show owner.
Hey, it's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I'm here for the audience. You're putting them to sleep.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Are
you gonna do a show tonight?
No,
it's a 6-minute Sunday.
You stole my show.
I didn't steal your show.
Yes, you did. Anyway, what's going
You're breaking
on?
my heart now. Why are you doing this to me?
Well, the Apple thing, I heard you guys talking about that. Mikey said y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about earlier.
I know.
But,
I read the chat.
But like they just dumped he just left one of the two, their head of Apple streaming over there. So chances are that's, if anything, they're talking about, like Culture was saying, I think.
Yeah, I
Just
think they're going to try to aggregate it out. It'll bring more eyeballs to their product.
So we'll have Warner, Disney, Apple, Hulu.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
And
Apple's
maybe worldwide share is not as, it's huge here in the US, but it's
the
not
cherry
huge
on
outside.
top.
Well, wouldn't you think that they'll try? I mean, again, would you think Paramount decides to roll their things into an aggregate? Like I said, we're getting cable 2.0 whether we want it or not.
Yeah.
You know, and then everybody's going to be like, this was dumb. I wanted an a la carte thing where I got what I wanted. And I think that everybody realizes I don't want to pay the amount of money for each one of these streaming services because cable and satellite was way cheaper. How way? Way. I don't know. I just don't know. But again, thanks to all of the people who contributed to the show. So you're really not doing anything, Tom? I was asking. Nope. So you're not. Why?
Why would I?
Because you're awesome. All right.
That's pretty true.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what Jason is sharing because it's
Paramount A stock. Have you ever seen a straight horizontal line on a stock price before?
No.
Oh, like the one. Oh, I see.
Flat line.
Yeah. What is up with that? This is the voting shares of Paramount. The Class A,
which is Shari Redstone.
Yeah. And used to be Warren Buffett, but isn't anymore. Do you see that story?
Yeah, that he pulled out at a loss. Yeah.
He dumped all of his Paramount stock.
Yeah, he said, peace out.
Yep. I've never seen a horizontal line on a graph like this.
Really?
Not a straight horizontal. I mean, this looks like a square root indicator. But look at that over the last 5 days.
Oh, wop wop.
I mean, 6 months, But yeah, over the last 5 days, that's not good.
Donut Lord, my line is always straight. Ghostbusters is a contested property. It's not where as clear who is in charge from movie to movie. Sometimes the best thing to do is to say no. Yeah.
Still Jason Reitman's films.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's still the one. I mean, he didn't direct this last one, but he's still the guy.
Yeah. And Warren would have existed quietly, but said he lost a lot of money. Yeah, he did.
Well, and he also made that announcement at his big conference. What's his company's name?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway. The big to do up at Omaha is when he announced that.
Yep.
And it's the first one that they've done since the other guy died. What was his name? What was his name? Can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So there's Paramount.
Whew, they're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, and there was some I saw somewhere discussing a possible partnership merge thing, shared space with Peacock, of all things. I'm like, why would Comcast do that with Paramount? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Charlie Munger. That's who it was. I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, I don't need to be embiggened. Apple's at 183, by the way.
They're doing pretty good.
They're down, but yeah, they're doing okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, you guys want to hear a quick review of the new Planet of the Apes from Snow Kid?
Yeah, of course.
He just saw it.
Yeah.
All right, here. No cussing.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. This was a family joint.
Hello, Culture.
Hey, what's up, Snow Kid? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Oh wow.
Oh, I know.
He's Charlie's kid.
Yep. So, what did you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, of the Earth, of the Mars, Moon, and Milky Way?
Oh, that movie. That movie was so. Okay, if anyone has ever watched any of the movies, you'd probably hate the new one, because the main character of most of the movies is this guy named Caesar. He taught about how apes and humans are alike and everything like that. But in the new movie, they completely throw all that in the garbage because it's 300 years in the future.
Right.
They made the main antagonist extremely weak and died of birds.
Right.
Yes, he died to birds.
Yep.
The main person, whatever his name is, I don't remember it anymore. But
Noah?
Yeah, Noah. He was weak. Couldn't even fight for himself. He couldn't climb either. He couldn't even take on a bird either.
Yeah,
it just
birds.
Threw everything out of the window. Everything about the original 3 is not even there. It's not even a Planet of the Apes movie, I would say. It's more of a reboot.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think you're right. I think that's kind of was their intention. The story is based on what traditional fables or biblical stories would be. So the naming scheme that they used is actually pretty evident in what they were trying to do. The person that brought that to my attention through another party was Toxic Manflu. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. And I think Tom had something to do with that.
Every once in a while, I do say something.
No, Tom said it as well. Everybody, I got to give Tom credit. So what was your final result and your thoughts there, my friend? What did you think overall of the film? If you're gonna put it on a schedule of 1 to 10 or a scale of 1 to 10?
If I were to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it way below, way out into the Milky Way, into Andromeda even. So garbage, it should even go into the null realm.
Wow.
I don't care.
Wow. Well,
Save your money. Save your money.
Wow.
So this mathematically, that's an improbable number.
It is.
It makes sense.
So I will ask you then, so is this a wait for streaming movie?
I would say so.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, is there any movie you've liked so far this year in 2024?
This year?
Yeah.
Not really. Most of them are kind of meh.
Fair enough. All right, so you didn't like Argyle?
No, I never even watched it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Well, I'm glad you're able to join the show. This is a good time. We'll have to have you back for another movie review. How's that sound?
I've been out for it.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds
All right.
good. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Bye.
You're amazing. That was Snow Kid. Thanks, bud. Kate Roberts says wallet secured.
Well, he's got a pretty strong opinion about that movie, I guess. So
He
I don't know
does,
what
and for
movie he
good
saw, but
reason. He was very articulate. Now, Tom, on the other hand, Tom, you want because I know your opinion varies from mine. I thought it was.
I've seen it's kind of a varied an opinion of the film.
Yeah.
That's the harshest I've heard anybody dump on it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it wasn't made for kids. I don't know. That's what
I haven't watched any of them. I don't think. I didn't like the old ones when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So I just
grew
didn't
up
have
on
any
that
interest
shit.
in the new ones. Yeah, like they just didn't do it for me. I don't know. So, but the Snow Kids seen them all, so that's why.
Those
I
are
was like,
when we knew it was going to be a good Sunday when you had a Planet of the Apes marathon.
yeah, I'd be watching the Kung Fu marathon on the other channel.
That's Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah, Kung Fu's the way to go.
So
if I'm gonna watch a bad movie, like
Oh
what
God,
people
we got the
consider
other
bad
ape
movie, it'd be a
hater
Kung
here,
Fu
too.
movie.
My
What is a
kid liked
panel
it.
of ape haters?
I don't hate the movie.
uh,
I don't think it's Gone with the Wind, but I don't hate the movie.
I mean, that's not like my favorite thing to see when I go to the zoo. I mean, they're cool and all, but
oh
I'd
my
rather see the
gosh.
tigers or the elephants.
Oh no.
You know.
Oh no. Look. Tom, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't. I gave it a 7. Tom's
Ape
mad at me.
hater.
We need to sing him a song. Will that cheer him up?
I don't know.
It should be his new favorite film, but oh no, that's Fall Guy.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that was my favorite film. What's my favorite film?
Fall Guy.
Showgirls.
Top Gun
Showgirl.
2.
Yeah.
Challengers, right? That's my new favorite film.
Yes, that is actually the truth. You've examined that movie to no end.
Look. There's a lot to look at in that film. There's some great
Not from what
cinematography.
everybody keeps saying about Zendaya.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
We just saw her.
Yeah. Cynthia Carter. Good job, Snow Dab. I had to read.
Thanks.
That's right.
Yeah, that might be a future movie reviewer. Who
I
knows?
sense all the bias oozing through there.
Donut Lord.
He's starting to watch Dragon Ball.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh balls, we got another weeb on our hands.
Yeah, he's a real trend kid. You know, he trend for about 2 weeks and something, then he's on to something else. Nothing ever really sticks.
Here's what like brightened my day the other day. My dad texted me out of nowhere because he don't give a shit about movies usually, and he goes, "Did you see that new Planet of the Apes movie yet?" I'm like, "Yeah," which means that's him asking because he's actually interested in it and he might want to go see it. Not that he'll actually probably go because he hasn't seen the last 2 yet, but he loved Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So like, yeah, I was thinking about taking him, but he's got to see the other 2.
Sorry, I did ask John Gibson. So Charlie Mungett was Buffett's brain trust. I think the 2 of them worked magic.
Yeah.
My point was it's a franchise for old fogies now.
You think
It's
so?
a boomer franchise, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't think kids can relate to it so much. I mean, I've seen some younger people enjoying it, but I can understand the disconnect, especially since it's been 5+ years since the last one. That's an eternity for kids now.
Yeah. Well, I tell you
I don't
what.
know if you'd consider my son a kid anymore because he's 22, but he thought it was great. He enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the weirdest one, I think, that opinions were so divided on it. I thought the CGI was better than ever, but, you know.
I wonder if some of it was people were expecting more, and it's the setup act 1.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
and here's where I'll be fair to it. I'm probably being nicer to it because it is Disney.
True story.
Honestly, like if this was still Fox and this was the 4th entry right after the other one and it was not as far removed, I probably would be more harsh on it. And I mean, I have my complaints about it, and I'm about where you are, Culture. It's like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 tops.
So I didn't hate it. I waffled between a 7 and a 7.5. I mean,
My biggest issues are just minor things, though, mostly. And the 3rd act, it's like they could have come up with something that wasn't so reminiscent of the last film. That was my biggest issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it felt like we're seeing the same movie all over again.
Yeah. Like you said, These things, it's the lack of creativity. I mean, that's why The Force Awakens is basically A New Hope regurgitated. Senator Hammerschlag says Kurtzman will buy Star Trek just to piss us off. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Irate Specialist wants Jolly to know that Zendaya is greater than Bruce Lee.
Here we go. Tell him to super chat next time, or I won't acknowledge it.
Her snake technique might be, considering how slinky she is.
Putin's cat says Disney will buy Star Trek, and we will get a Star Trek Star Wars mashup with Guardians of the Galaxy.
If Disney bought Star Trek, it'd be like Discovery on fucking cocaine.
I'm hoping, just based on what I've heard, and I don't know what you guys have heard, I'm hoping that Sony Apollo will probably get Paramount. And if the Warner Brothers offer is still on the table, they want the whole Star Trek IP. And in either case, whether it's Sony Apollo or it's Warner Brothers, Kurtzman's out. Abrams is out. All of the Bad Robot, Secret Hideouts.
Unless Skydance is still a part of it, basically, yeah.
Well, the board of directors threatened to resign as a group if the Skydance thing went through. The Skydance deal.
I know, yeah, I understand, and I agree with you, and that's where I see this headed too. I think Warner's kind of just waiting in the wings right now. I don't know if they're going to make another offer or not.
I imagine they will.
Sony basically just whipped their ding-a-ling out and threw it on the table and said, "Oh, that's a nice offer" to Skydance, because they basically doubled it. So, and my understanding is that'll eat up most of the debt too. So
here's the biggest problem: Sony is not making great things right now, as Putin's cat points out. So Madam Web is our standard for Sony.
Who said?
Well, it looks like it. I mean, with what they're doing with superheroes and stuff, they're not doing well.
Sony also did No Way Home.
True, but okay, so you don't think they're going to
Tom Rothman's the type of guy though where he's not going to let this shit keep going though, right? He's not going to be like Disney where he's going to let them keep making, like, that's one of the reasons why I think Craven got pushed back again, is they panicked a little bit and they're reshooting and doing a few things, reworking some things. And I wouldn't be surprised if that and Venom are the last of these movies, unless either one of those are very successful at this point.
Yeah, and
I don't think he'll dink around with it.
Yidis is right. I mean, Warner Bros. Discovery would love CBS, or at least their catalog. The question is, would they be allowed to keep their
offer? Their offer was just for Star Trek.
All I know,
really, I didn't know that.
Warner Brothers said, "We would like Star Trek, please."
I didn't even hear that part of it. I heard they were actually more interested in like CBS for the sports and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got that story, share it with me, please.
I don't have a story. I have somebody telling me. Somebody. No, they have a contact in CBS.
Yeah, and here, look, Warner Brothers won't get CBS. And I heard that Warner Brothers' primary interest was their back catalog, not necessarily the linear networks, because they're trying to get out of linear networks business. So, and the FTC, as Cyrano says, Warner
Brothers, yeah, because CW was a freaking flop.
Warner Bros. Is trying to get out of this. And I don't know that they would allow for it, right?
Well, that aside, what I was told, and this is obviously completely different than what Jason had heard, was that, and I've said it before, Zaslav was interested because he wants to get his hands on the sports rights, and he wanted the CBS news department to come in and clean up CNN. And that was the two big things. Plus, then he would have a major network underneath his belt.
That makes a certain amount of sense. Well,
and I speculated that either Paramount Plus then would either be completely taken off the table, eliminating that as a competition, or he'd merge them somehow or whatever. But yeah.
The other thing too is that it hasn't been mentioned in a while, but I did see it in a recent article. Byron Allen is still in play. Because he had made a bid for $30 billion at one point, and then all of this stuff.
Where is he going to get that kind of money? Though?
I don't know, because he had a bunch of layoffs here recently. But
I was going to say, I don't think he's worth that much from what I had read.
The most recent article I saw still allowed for the possibility that he'd buy BET, which is in that mix too. And if Sony Apollo takes it, then they'll probably start selling pieces off. They would almost have to.
Well, they're trying.
Well, and I'm sure Warner wouldn't be able to buy the whole thing wholesale either. They'd have to get rid of certain things.
They're gonna have to shed stuff. Yeah. It's weird.
Where I see both Sony and Warner being the bigger problem here, if they were to run into anything, would be the fact that if one of them, either one would take the other on, it would all of a sudden create a bit of a monopoly in the television realm.
Yes.
Because I can't remember exactly which order it goes in, but I believe Warner Brothers owns and produces the most television product, and then right below them is either Paramount or Sony. I think it's Paramount, then Sony. And Sony mainly because they have a huge catalog. They own like a lot of game shows and like the Lorimar catalog and stuff from memory and stuff like that, and Screen Gems and a bunch of other stuff. So that's where I could see that being a bigger problem than anything else, because we've already seen so many of these studios conglomerate and do other things. Like I could see Warner having a bigger issue because they already have New Line Cinema and a couple other studios underneath them, to where Sony is just Columbia TriStar, and that studio is really just one and the same anymore. They used to be two separate, but they're not even really two separate entities anymore. They're not even ran as two separate entities, which the same argument could be made over at HBO or Warner Brothers for all that kind of business. But even HBO, you could argue, is a studio unto itself, right? Like, so there's that. And then they're also building DC Films, which is technically, I guess, a de facto studio inside of Warner Brothers too. You have the animation thing, which is technically its own studio in a way. So, I mean, there's a lot of this that's going to come into play. And I mean, Sony has Skydance. So, I mean, that would also bump into, like, I don't know what's going on with DreamWorks anymore, because DreamWorks, the Warner or Universal bought out their animation side of things, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I think Paramount bought out the live action catalog. Why are we doing this?
Wow. On that note, I gotta go.
I did not mean to do that. I am so sorry.
Killed my flow.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Sorry.
But happy Mother's Day.
Thought we were in studio mode. My fault.
Much love. You can check me out later tonight, 8 p.m. West Coast, late night show on Stark of Iron. My good buddy Tony Stark has a late night show over there. It's a lot of fun. So we'll be doing some crazy puppet antics over there. And yeah, subscribe to Snowdub. I'm almost to 3,000 subscribers. Slowly but surely.
Jolly ain't got no feet.
And Jolly has no feet. This is true. Tom's smash hit AI song that everybody loves. Thank you, Tom.
No feet.
Well, thanks for being here, Jolly. I hope you have a great time wherever you're going.
Take Snow Kid to see his mom.
Good job.
It's
Mother's Day. I guess you got to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Well,
and the Dobermans are hungry, so I got to do that too. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have an incredible time, and we will see you next week, I hope. Okay?
Well, yeah. Just make sure it's the time that it's supposed to maybe be, possibly.
Oh, no, it'll be back to regular time.
Okay. Great. All right.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right. Bye, Snowdub.
Later, guys.
All right. And I'm sorry to my producer in the background for moving things around. So I'll stop doing that. What else is happening?
My fault. I'm so sorry.
I saw somebody mention in the chat the first Apollo offer was stock. The way I read the last article on that, the Sony Apollo offer is $26 billion in cash. I didn't see anything about a stock piece of that offer. The stock thing was Skydance buys National Amusements. Paramount does a stock swap to merge and acquire Skydance. But I haven't seen any mention of a stock swap for the Apollo Sony offer. I might have missed it. And I don't
My understanding is a Sony Apollo offers all cash, buy it outright. That would also kill the debt. Because that's the other thing is when my understanding, and Mikey's in the chat, he can, if he's still listening, he can correct me if I'm wrong here. My understanding with the Skydance deal is they only have half the cash that Sony's offering, and they'll be absorbing that debt. And Culture might even be able to correct me if I'm wrong on that. So that's the big difference there in that. And the only one who really benefits in the Skydance deal is Redstone.
Yeah,
and the Sony deal, and to where everybody else will benefit as far as shareholders in the Sony situation, from what I'm understanding. I got a yes time. Yes. I'm a teacher's pet.
Yes.
You have made his day, Mikey.
That still doesn't make Mike right about Apple.
I don't know what he said about Apple anyway.
I don't know.
missed it. I was just saying what you guys.
Mr. Mexican Iron Man and I can have a discussion about that.
He likes money.
An adult discussion. Because if I'm associated with anything, it's acting professionally and being an adult.
I'm not associated with CultureCasino.
Being being associated with adult professionals.
Who?
Industry adult professionals? Professional adults in the industry. Right, I don't know.
In what
industry? Tracy Lordsey.
Oh, Tracy Lords? Where?
What, huh? She's next to Todd. That's what you need. All right. Yesterday, we celebrated Mother's Day in the Flew household yesterday because we have 4 birthdays, Mother's Day around in this one. And one of the kids had the first Mother's Day and all that kind of stuff. So we go out to a very nice restaurant that serves a whole lot of fresh cooked meats. We had a good time. And we're walking through an attached mall. We still have those. And they have this place where you can get all kinds of sodas. There's a place in St. Louis called Fitz's. Makes their own sodas. Really good. Near George Washington University there. So we stopped there once with the kids. Loved it. Got the Cardinal Cream, got the root beer, all this stuff. It was during the 2016 election. So this place always prints up root beer labels for whoever the 2 candidates are. And then they post a prediction of who's going to win based on who bought how much, right? So we go in there. That's great. We get, they have a root beer. So we get some of that, some other stuff. I get a 0 bar. And there's this giant life-size stand-up poster of Donald Trump. And it just says, "Buy me," there. And I was like, oh, what would I do with that?
Was it huge?
It was huge. And they had Trump hair, they called it. It was some kind of like cotton candy. It was golden cotton candy. And a thing, it says Trump hair on it. It was hilarious. So, and I got my root beer. So that's good. Culture's gone. I don't know where he went. Oh, Mrs. Flew took a selfie with the life-size poster of Donald Trump. It was funny.
Does she tell everybody it's the real Donald Trump?
Culture says, "Be right back."
He had to pee.
Having a rectal moment. Okay.
Oh, whatever. He pooped.
Mm-hmm.
He's got poop.
Yeah.
That's a rare one. Usually.
Who's Roger Corman? Like,
you don't know who, are you serious
Roger Corman,
right now?
Tim Conway, Roger Corman died?
That's
Harvey
Corman.
Harvey Corman. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't give a crap about movies. So, who's Roger Corman?
Oh Lord.
For those of us in the chat that don't know.
I thought you really did know.
Oh, is Mikey calling me names yet?
No, not for that, I don't think.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so below Mexican Iron Man.
Have you ever heard of like such blockbuster hits as Carnosaur or Death Race 2000?
Oh, that's right. The guy did Death Race.
Or,
okay, got it.
Little Shop of Horrors, Piranha.
Mm-hmm. All the good movies.
Or Fantastic Four.
The unreleased one.
Yeah, he did the unreleased Fantastic Four. Yeah.
If Disney
I thought his name was so with a K. Sorry.
If Disney had any sense and wanted to make some money, they could offer up a tribute to Roger Corman and release Fantastic Four, finally. In honor of Roger Corman, we'll put...
I don't even know if they could legally do it, but...
Is he dead?
I own it.
Yeah, he died this weekend.
That sucks.
98 years old.
Well, then it doesn't suck as much.
1 year younger than my uncle.
Oh yeah. He lived long enough to say "fuck you" to his kids.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Because his kids are ungrateful little shits. So he's like, not only am I going to live long, I'm going to sell all my movies so you little shits don't get any money.
Oh, wow, that's horrible.
Well, they guess they deserved it. And they did act like little shits afterwards, too. No, I'm sure they're rich enough. I mean, their dad has been a part of over 500 movies, directed over 50. He's been an actor in even such films as like Silence of the Lambs, Apollo 13.
Was he really?
Yeah.
What was he in that?
He usually plays like senators and congressmen and cops and FBI directors, and he just pops up. You know, he was even in as a Hollywood director in Looney Tunes Back in Action. He was a secretary in Manchurian Candidate. I remember I just watched that like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Remember he popped up in that. He was in Scream 3 as an executive. Like, he was in tons and tons of shows and
Scream
movies.
3 is my favorite Scream.
He's even been in Beverly Hills 90210 in an episode as himself.
So Mrs. Boss will now have
in The Howling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He also is his company is where James Cameron got started.
Oh, that's the other thing that, I mean, obviously that the outpouring from directors today, sans Paul Schrader, which we can maybe get into that a little bit, like the directors that he has been involved with launching their careers, from Joe Dante to John Landis to, you just mentioned James Cameron. I mean, tons and tons of directors. Ron Howard, he gave him his first shot as a director. I mean, and not only that, he was responsible for a lot of the exploitation films and B movies and drive-in films that we grew up with. I mean, he was just a legend. I mean, when you use the term legend, we throw that around a lot, but
he did Dawn of the Dead, didn't he? The original?
I don't think so. That's Romero, I think you're thinking of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, George Romero. That's fine. I'm sorry.
But I mean, just tons and tons of movies that he produced over the years. Some obviously like the Sharktopus and stuff like that were not,
but
so great.
It's not. It's not hyperbole, Tom, when we use the word legend for him.
That's what I was getting at. Is like, I mean, we say it a lot, but when it comes to Roger Corman, I mean, he is like probably on the Mount Rushmore of legends of Hollywood.
Hey,
and rightfully so.
Yeah. Tom, real quick update. Godzilla X Kong, according to Jeremiah Hembry, is over 550 million right now.
I heard it just hit video on demand as well.
Isn't that insane? I mean, it did better than I anticipated.
It didn't do as good as I thought it was going to do, but
a little better than me, what I anticipated. So there's that.
Still hasn't made any money yet.
It will. They don't. It was It
I don't think they spent so much on this.
135 million. I looked it up. So. $135 million budget.
So in 5 years, when we find out what they really spent on,
well,
that may be. But like, I know the last one, that was the same thing. Is they stipulated we got to bring the cost down on these.
Yeah.
Now the thing that makes no sense to me is it sounds like they're bringing back the original writer from the original Godzilla. I'm like, oh, so great. The next one's gonna suck. You're telling me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So if you go by the rule of three and you say it's 135 million, and I think what they've done is say we got to bring the cost down, and they're just lying harder. Okay, so I think that this movie actually cost them $250 million to make.
With all the advertising and stuff, you're probably not far off. But yeah,
right, because they didn't spend any money on Fall Guy with advertising. They spent a ton of money on advertising with this movie. So, because it's all over Facebook and all this stuff. Yeah, and there's a lot of international stuff and things on that. So I just don't. I think the movie going public is no longer in the United States.
I think it's just made a decent, like it's in the black, so that means all the video on demand and DVD and Blu-ray sales
will make it.
Gravy.
Yeah. People
plus,
like that kind of stuff.
I mean, for HBO Max, then that means it's less of a loss for them, and if anything, they're just out whatever money they got to pay Legendary for it. I think here's the other thing with Warner Brothers compared to Disney. Disney has other ways of hiding the money that they spend compared to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers doesn't have the parks and the properties and all this other stuff to, obfuscate the cost and offset the costs or however you want to put it. Whereas that's why Zaslav's there, right? Like, I mean, that's what Killar was there for. That's what they've been trying to do for the last few years, is unfuck the mess that I was telling people that Warner Brothers was all this time. Because even though they looked like they were successful on the surface, they were burning from the inside out, because you had executives who didn't know what the hell they were doing. You had departments not working together. You had people spending money like it was going out of style. I mean, look at
cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
Like, look at like something like Birds of Prey, which I don't even know what the budget on that was, but we know they did some reshoots, and I'm sure it cost my point I was going to get to is I still think it probably ended up costing more than Godzilla and Kong at the end of the day. So, I mean, and that was probably a negative pickup deal with Legendary, where Legendary footed the bill, and then Warner just paid for the distribution and paid them whatever they had to cut for whatever. You know, I mean, if Culture wants to elaborate on that kind of a deal, go ahead. But see, that's already a joint deal they're doing with somebody else, so they're not even in all the cost-wise. So,
yeah, right now, risk management is even more strict in any of these efforts. This is why these corporations are so effed up.
Zaslav's having a good year.
Yeah, but there's more creativity there. Even though some of the things are reboots or what do you call them, requels or whatever. Reboot quills, that's the new one I like.
Well, basically, the big black eye was the Suicide Squad game.
Yes. It killed
he
him.
can actually hide behind the fact that he wasn't even around when that thing was starting development and went into production and all that stuff. Oh. So at the end of the day, just beyond Barbie, Wonka, Kong, and what's the other film that got released this year? I'm drawing. Oh, Dune. Trying to think of the other big film. Yep. Just between those movies alone in the last year, like this is what I laugh every time I see somebody hashtag fire Zaslav, or
you're like, what?
The Mary Sue's recent article about this stuff. I'm like, you guys have no clue, do you? Warner Brothers is on the mend, and they're in better shape than a lot of the other studios. Look at Paramount, for fuck's sake. Like, the reason they're so cheap right now is because of what they did to themselves. Yeah, 10 years ago, Paramount would be worth twice this.
Well, way more than twice.
At least.
Yeah.
At least, exactly. And I'm being conservative. Anyway, sorry, my rant is over.
For now. I like it when Tom gets on a roll sometimes, you know.
I need to get high.
Well, anyway, back to the conversation there. None of these companies are focused on the right things. Their risk management, film by committee stuff doesn't work, and it's what's causing the dearth of creativity and the slow death of these studios. They have to. One of the things you have to do is, if you're going to have some risk management, make 5 films. Make 1 or 2 of them risky. Make 3 of them that are predictable, because the risky ones have a bigger upside if they are successful, you know. And those other 3 are just like, you know, fishing in the pond with catch and release policy.
Well, I mean, it's like you go back to the Madam Web thing we were talking about earlier. Dakota Johnson, in her press, in her interviews, basically called out the studios and said the wrong people are in charge. They're afraid of anything creative. They don't want to take any risks. They don't want to do anything bold or daring or new. I mean, she essentially shot her entire Marvel career in the head with all of those comments.
Oh,
yeah.
Who cares at this point? I think she knows where the wind's blowing.
Yeah, but she's right in the general sense that, you know, all of these studios, like Culture was saying, all these studios, they are so risk averse, and they have been for a good decade. They don't want to do anything new. And so we get remake after remake after remake after remake, and nobody's going to the movies anymore.
Oh,
well, and here's the other problem.
Idea, Joey. I'm going to start writing out my concept here. Someone will remake Mad Men
in the future.
And expose what went on at Disney and the rest of Hollywood.
Well, it'll be an interesting show in 20 years if we get something like that.
But
off of Jason's point, I want to say this.
Great, right?
Considering we have an Apes movie,
have somebody know from the inside, talk about from the inside the stuff, and just make a show about it.
Well, I just want to say, like, off of Jason's point, since we have an Apes movie in theaters right now, can Culture not hear me? Is he just being a dick?
I don't think Culture can hear you.
I don't think he
can either.
Oh, shoot. Is Tom talking?
Okay. Anyway.
Okay. I'll be back after this.
So my point was, like, we got an Apes movie in theaters right now. So it's not a comic book movie. Okay. So that takes that off the table for once.
Yeah.
And this is a great example because even though Toxic Man Flu doesn't like the other Apes films, one thing Fox knew when those movies came out, and those movies practically saved Fox Studios until Star Wars came along. Right. Because they came at a time when they had spent a shit ton of money on a bunch of movies that didn't make any money. And in fact, lost them a lot of money, like Dr. Dolittle and Star with who was it? Not Julie Andrews. Was it Julie Andrews or was it the other one I'm thinking of? Either way, a bunch of expensive musicals, Hello Dolly, stuff like that. Cleopatra was another one. Huh?
Was it Star 80? Is what you're thinking of?
No, I don't know if it's that one. It came out in 1968 or 9, somewhere in that region. Yeah. Anyway, it was either her or it was either Julie Andrews or the one from Wizard of Oz. I'm trying to think of her name. But anyway, yeah, they actually lost like a couple million, like multiple $1 million, like $20 million on that movie alone. So what the Apes movies did was they cost next to nothing, but yet they made a buttload of money. But with each sequel, they would cut the budgets, right? Like, and this is the way Hollywood worked for the longest time. Is like you could guarantee a sequel would make you a little bit of money. You could almost say maybe half, but they wouldn't add more money to the budget like they do now. Like, this is where sequelitis is the worst. And this is the worst problem with sequelitis. It's okay to have sequelitis as long as you're only spending half or a third of what the original movie cost, you know, but when you're spending 2, 3, 4 times what the original film cost, that's a problem because you're not going to be bringing back that much money most of the times. And the Apes movies are a good example of this because they peaked at the peak of like theater going and home video and everything like that during the disc era. And that's why the second film made twice as much as the rest of them. But if you look at the average, this movie is doing about average. So like at the end of the day, the problem is going to be if they spent too much on this movie, probably in comparison to the first 3. Like, I don't know the difference. I'd have to go look it up. But I see a lot of people that are like chiming in as gloom and doom for this movie. I'm like, well, not really. The fourth film is actually on par with the third film and the first film. The anomaly was that second film for some reason that made almost $800 million at the box office. And I don't understand that one. That was out of the regular for the Apes films. Maybe that just speaks to how good Rise of the Planet of the Apes was. I don't know, but I think it was the timing of it more than anything. Because that was that era leading in, ramping up to like 2019 when they had the biggest year ever. So like 2016, 17, 18 were pretty good years for Hollywood.
And you were right. It was Julie Andrews in Star.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make the first Planet of the Apes movie anywhere close to Gone with the Wind. I mean, seriously. In fact,
not getting into that.
It is so far away from Gone with the Wind, Snow Kid probably couldn't even describe it.
I'm not going to get into that debate.
Well, okay, for all its faults, though, this recent Apes movie,
it's making a ton of money.
Is making money. Well,
is it though?
Okay, and that's the other problem. Yeah, and Tom is going to go down the same road I am. We're going to watch it have a 59 to 62% fall off on the second weekend, and then where's it going to be?
Nowhere.
That's the biggest
There's
problem
no
I have
legs,
right now. Yeah, because people are used to, like, if they don't go see it the opening weekend, that means they're going to wait for streaming. They're going to wait for streaming.
Okay, this is the sitcom I want. The sitcom family drama, Ape is enough.
Ape is enough?
Because
hey, Culture,
Ape is enough.
I did a clean version
you did
of your new bumper.
Okay.
Do you want to play it?
How do you do a clean version of that?
I'm not the producer.
You're not the producer?
You're the
okay.
producer. Yeah.
Here's what I think of Tom's opinion on Planet of the Apes, first Planet of the Apes, being on par with Gone with the Wind. Here we go. Yeah, I took the beeps out, so I took the good stuff out of it. So there you go. But did you see? I put the ring of fire around it, and everything has like a rainbow hue.
Yeah, you punched it up.
Here's a question.
Punched it up.
I fisted that one right through.
What if? And what are the chances both Apes and Fall Guy benefit from good word of mouth? Oh, it's actually a really good movie. Go see it. Or it's better than I expected. Go see it. If word of mouth gets both of them going, what are the odds?
Well, unfortunately, the Apes movie is a lot more mixed than Fall Guy. We've seen how well Fall Guy has benefited. Yeah. And the sad part is they're both roughly similar box office or budgets, I mean. And I'm looking up the other budgets. I mean, I can't really knock on Disney. They did a pretty good job of keeping this budget under what the last two films were.
It wasn't Disney.
Who did it then? This is a Fox movie and it's Disney. Then who made it?
Dude, it's been in this thing. You said
it ain't been in production for 10 years, dude.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No way.
They
just shot it though. Like my point is Disney spent the money. They bought the company in 2017.
No, I know.
That actually, which is funny because Disney bought the company just as War of the Planet of the Apes came out, roughly.
Exactly.
And that's the last time they made one, and so this is theirs.
It was scaled for a 9-film arc.
My point was the last 2 films had a lot more of a budget than this one did.
Oh, I agree with you.
Not even counting inflation, it might be a little closer. But the fact that they kept this at 130 million, I'm not going to knock them. That's not bad for this.
No. As far as the budgetary controls, you're 100% right, and that's probably what makes this an attempt at profitability. But Tom, we've been talking about this for months. Disney only has 5 shots at the apple this time. That's it. As far as $1 billion maker, correct?
I think the days of the $1 billion film are out the door. I think, and that's what Hollywood's got to understand.
I think so.
I think that they need to realize that unless it's something that's very, very, very fucking special, people are not going to go see it. Like I just said, this movie's done. This is the biggest box office it's going to get. Fall Guy is done. It's the biggest box office it's going to get. And that had some of the most positive buzz and word of mouth since Dune.
Yeah,
and right. Dune had another thing going for it. What Dune had going for it was I've got to go see this on IMAX, right? How many people did, even in our sphere, did we have go, oh, I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting to get see it at IMAX. Well, why don't you just get tickets? Well, I've been trying for a week, and I can't.
I
get
did not go see it in
now.
IMAX. I did not, because when I went and saw the first one, the IMAX, the theater I was in, ruined it because of their sound.
Mine, yeah, same here.
Yeah, they blew my eardrums
something
out.
about that, Tox. Yeah, I couldn't.
So I went and saw it. I just saw it in a regular thing. And we can't underestimate exactly what shutting down the world for a year did. So what happens? People find a way to find other entertainment.
Yeah.
They go through the entertainment that's popular, and they go through the entertainment that's convenient.
Yeah. And here they are. They're here on YouTube. Hi, everybody.
Right. And eventually it's going to go away from YouTube because YouTube's going to shoot themselves in the foot like they just did with this latest update. YouTube even admitted they made a mistake because they dropped, 40% of their profits?
Yes, they did.
Because of the super chats that were off and all that, things like that.
Yep.
And if you're trying to do some kind of socio-political stuff, message with things that are going on, people don't want to beat over the head with that.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody wants that.
Yep.
So it just, you can't underestimate that. You can't underestimate the inflation in prices that has gotten to this point. Ghostbusters, I thought, was a good time. Mrs. Flew and I went and saw it, had a great time. And I got the little Ghostbusters trap that I could put the little mini comics plushie in, just like I could put mini comics inside of that, whatever that Dune popcorn thing
bucket.
is.
Yeah, the sandworm.
But we had a better time, except for Godzilla -1 for me, had a better time watching the re-release of The Mummy in theater than any other film that's been out. It took me back. We had good people in the theater. We were all quoting it. We had a good time. That was 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday. And that was a good time. So I think Hollywood is dead. They just don't realize it yet. Not 100%. And they're trying to mask it and do things from here. I mean, all right, we say, okay, well, this monkey movie costs $150 million. Since when did we trust anything that these people say?
Good.
I don't. But give me 4 years down the road when they really tell me, right? And the only reason we know some of that is because of the companies that have been filming in England, and they have laws that make more of this visible. And I understand Disney has more places to hide it, and Warner Brothers and all this, but they all know how to do this. Been doing it for years. So I'm not going to trust that this thing make money until 3-4 years down the road said, you know what, made money. Here's the video on demand stuff. Here's the other money things from there. They all bet on streaming. They all bet on binge watching, which I don't understand anybody that thinks that the binge model works. I just don't get it. If you have any common sense at all, the binge model only works in extremely small areas, like Good Omens. 6-part series. That's what you needed for this book. It was a one and done book. All those you drop at once because you're not going to get a second season out of that. It's like Shogun. They're going to do a second season. Why? Why are you going to do that? All you're going to do is ruin something that was really good. That's all you're going to do.
You know, I wonder if the binge model, because the binge model was the way to sell streaming at the beginning. You could see the entire thing all at once.
Of old shows.
Yeah, but it's diminishing returns. And, you know, they locked into this model, and then they realized, we're not making any money off this way. Yeah. And you've seen streaming, they've all gone back to weekly release, except in some cases where it's just dump it because we don't want to do anything with it, which is what we get with the Acolyte.
Echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the shows that I watch on Acorn and some of the other British, the murder mystery stuff that I do. There's one out of New Zealand, Brokenwood. It's just corny fun. They dropped them all last year, but no, they're dropping them one a week, and they've got 8 shows, so they got 2 months. And what they found is that I'd pay $4.99 for a month, and then stop. Right,
and that's the thing, right? Is like you can't do what they're doing. One of the reasons that HBO became the powerhouse in premium television it became was because of their catalog of shows they were developing, and they were so compelling, and they were once a week, and they
Sopranos.
The conversation pieces, right? Yeah, going back to Sopranos and everything else. I mean, you go through, they had Ballers, Sopranos, they had, and they had competition too, because you had Showtime, so you had
Showtime was doing stuff, right? You had Boardwalk
Deadwood
Empire
and Dexter,
Boardwalk
The Wire.
Empire,
The Wire. I mean, it's like you go through it all, and you're like, these shows are. Game of Thrones eventually was the thing that just sent HBO to the moon. And what did
they let 2 guys. They could have had Game of Thrones make them billions, billions, and they had 2 guys that I'm going to go make Disney money. And completely destroyed season 7 and 8.
Oh, well,
I still haven't been able to see season 8 because it's so dark.
It didn't help that George R.R. Martin hasn't finished the stupid story.
Okay, but do you think
they go off on their own and do things?
Do you think?
Yeah, you could have Brandon Sanderson come in and in 3 weeks finish the story.
Right.
End of story.
That's true.
That was funny. I made a rhyme.
3 sequels.
Yeah. But it's just like he did with the Dune stuff. And the other
hang on.
I'm just Culture. You were trying to say something? I'm so sorry.
No. I just, you guys are having a great conversation. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, Big Head, Little Head did not make the Star Wars movie they planned. Even because they rushed and they wrecked the ending, they lost that job. I mean, don't push too hard on too many levers all at once, because you're going to cause the machine to tear itself apart, and that's what happened. And it didn't help that Westworld became a floating dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Westworld, excuse me. Yeah.
I think the other thing too with the binge model, and Joey mentions it too, there's no water cooler momentum with the binge model, because in the weekly release, there's time for you to talk with other people. Did you see the latest episode? And you're talking about the episode, and you're talking about how great it was or how terrible it was, or did someone did this and this did that? Did you see this? What did you think about that? And then next week, you have more people interested. Well, maybe I need to check this thing out, and maybe I need to look at this thing. And suddenly you've got a sensation, because now you've got more people watching it, and the audience builds over time, and then they go back and they watch the episodes they've missed. With a binge model, you don't have any of that. You don't have the word of mouth ground game that, with what we've been speculating about with Fall Guy and Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that. Did you see this?
There's no fallback position either.
No.
There really isn't. And here's some good advice from our buddy over on Rumble, TZ Burton. What's up, my friend? He sends a Rumble rant for $5. Says, mess up YouTube. Send Rumble rants instead. Yes, because I actually get that money.
Make Rumble love you a long time.
Make Rumble great now again or whatever. Sean Carter sends a $5 super chat. What's up? Look at the bumpers. Howdy, I just finished watching Unfrosted, the Kellogg movie from Seinfeld on Netflix. I haven't laughed so hard in a while.
That's
definitely
Pop-Tart.
recommend.
It's
The Pop-Tart one, yeah, I've been wanting to see that.
It's out.
It's the history of
I
Pop-Tarts.
watched it.
Yeah, is that Kellogg? Does Kellogg make Pop-Tarts?
Yes.
Kellogg's Pop-Tarts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey,
keep in mind. Okay, I enjoyed it. It is about 10% of the actual true story of the Pop-Tart. There's like things that are sprinkled in there. Because I'm actually,
it's a dramedy.
No, it is a straight up like fucking satire.
Weird movie that in it. It's satire,
like Weird Al movie, exactly. Like,
yeah.
And I liked it better than the Weird Al movie, but like the Weird Al movie, it kind of falls into a third act issue of a joke going on too far, too big, too long. But it does recover better than the Weird Al film did, in my opinion. Now, I know people who love the Weird Al film. If you're into that kind of humor, this is, if you like Seinfeld, if you like very satirical airplane kind of type humor, it's not quite airplane, but like the only thing I would say about the film that would have made it even better is Paul Chatto was right. They should have played it straight, like Mel Brooks straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like throughout the film, it should have been like a Wall Street straight kind of movie, but like the humor is in what they're actually taking so fucking seriously, right? Because
the humor is that it's asinine.
Yes, because it's about the damn Pop-Tart. But in reality, I mean, there is some interesting stuff in the actual happenings, because there was a race to get the Pop-Tart to the shelves, because Post had their own version of it. And like I said, the movie actually, maybe about 15-20% of it actually really is true. But either way, the way they play with some stuff and the way the movie is, it's very much, you can tell Seinfeld's having a lot of fun. All these comedians are having fun. I didn't even mind Amy Schumer in it all that much, because you're supposed to dislike her character.
Well, she's easy to dislike, so yeah.
Yeah, and she actually had one line that made me laugh, even though I'm sure she didn't write it, which is typical for her, you know. So.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
See, and I liked Weird because that is my kind of humor, right? And that's why we have so many different kinds of humor, because everybody has a different way of finding things funny. And to me,
I think you'll like it, Tox, yeah.
Yeah, the Weird movie, for me, when I finally saw it, it's exactly what I think Weird Al would allow them to do, is that film. Him being the greatest rock star of all time, right? And all that stuff. And it just fits for me with that. But
this is the kind of movie that only Seinfeld could probably make.
Yeah.
Right? Like, once you see it, you'll know what I mean. Like, there's no way any other filmmaker probably could have made this now.
Right.
10 years ago, yes.
Do you want to say
it's kind of refreshing to see a comedy, an actual comedy. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we need more of the comedy. Comedy is, if anything's going to save quote unquote Hollywood, it's comedies. Yep. 15 to 20%. That's better than the actual news. It really is. It really is.
Laughing at that, yeah.
And speaking of news, Jay mentions that Home Improvement was the last show that they watched on cable. Most series released those days were boring to me. Yeah, I mean, it was still hit and miss at certain eras of television.
Honestly, though,
there's a lot of dead spots. Yeah.
Oh, man. Even still, though, I would take the worst of some of the best of the 80s and 90s television over some of the shit that's today, because, like, I've thought about this where I bug. The reason why I bug Paul so much about his weekly TV guide videos is because, like, this season, the fall season of TV, like, that he's covering, like, that was the coolest time of the year as far as television goes. Even though it sucked you were going back to school, the least you could look forward to is new shows. Especially as a kid, you know, new cartoons on Saturday mornings. You know, as growing up as an adult, like, whatever cool new shows we're going to get this year. Were we actually going to get some comic book shows, or, you know, stuff like that? And or was your favorite show going to get renewed? You never know what you're going to get. And I loved pilot season, because you could see all kinds of crazy fucking shows, right? Like, I remember that stupid Ferris Bueller show. Like, like Clerks the animated series, and I remember all these other shows that only lasted a few episodes. So it's not like streaming is the new norm as far as like TV shows coming and going quickly. Because the other thing I think you were talking about earlier, Jason, before I got in here, I only caught part of it because I was driving, but I think what you were talking about now is that all these televisions, now that they're doing streaming and shit, there's no longer a pilot season anymore. Script
Right.
Doctor covered this in great length on Midnight's Edge After Dark. And so they're just going directly to series. So there's no testing phases. There's none of that anymore. There's no, well, is this working? Is that working? They can't shift a show. And we've talked about this ourselves. Because once you shoot these shows that are like a movie, basically, there's no changing course, whether for better or worse down the road if something starts going wrong, you know, or if you get a success like Urkel, you know, like that character changed that show forever. And, you know, so they never expected Urkel to be the thing to draw people in, but it was just supposed to be a show about the, you know, the main family. And then all of a sudden this one-off character becomes the show, you know, and that's kind of what happens sometimes. You can't have that anymore. So.
Well, you look at something like Star Trek: The Next Generation, for example. I mean, it started off as an ensemble show, and then it became the Picard Data show, and it was all about that relationship between Picard and Data, the family, the father son type of thing.
Yeah, but the best part of it was getting rid of Wesley.
Yeah,
God, I hated that kid.
One of the only shows that I can think of that got lucky on banking on an Urkel type character was The Mandalorian. And they weren't even ready for that because they didn't have any merchandise.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, J.J. Gosling says something.
Sorry, I'm not trying to drag it into Star Wars. I'm just saying.
It's fine.
That's one of the few times I can think of it working out for him.
Yeah. J.J. Gosling says, after 5 months of membership, I'd take Manimal over modern TV.
Well, Manimal is peak television, of course. They just tried to keep the Manimal down.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't let Manimal happen no matter what.
I was waiting for a crossover between Manimal and Automan.
Right?
Yeah.
We could have had Avengers before Avengers.
What do you guys think of the Sigourney Weaver casting news?
Mandalorian. Who cares?
Honestly, who cares?
Stunt casting as usual.
Oh, I do want to say something. Mrs. Flew chimed in a while about culture is never a dick. There you go.
True. No, but Jason, I know, and I didn't mean to be so dismissive, but
no, I dated
it. What does it accomplish? Nothing. What is she going to do? We don't know. Why does it matter? I don't know.
I just found.
And is she going to be playing Ripley?
Probably not.
Are you sure?
Why would she? It's in a galaxy far away a long time ago.
You don't know that.
Unless Ridley Scott's directing it, we're not going to be inserting alien stuff.
Come on, Wayland
Favreau's directing it, so
I was being facetious.
Yes, but
is that Jonathan Favreau?
We'll get plenty more gay robots if Ridley Scott made Star Wars.
Did you guys?
There we go.
Did you? So there were some shows that I thought that Joss Whedon did well. Obviously Buffy and Angel and those, but I liked Dollhouse.
Really?
Yeah, I know that that's a weird opinion on that show, but I liked the concept. And
I
then
never watched it, but I wanted to.
Need
to add it to my list.
Jason never watched it, and he didn't inhale.
Well, I was married at the time with somebody that was anyway.
Horrible.
I hadn't seen it yet.
You were married to somebody who did inhale?
No.
Oh. No.
Smoke weed every day.
No.
We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Well, that's a depressing note. So I'm looking forward in June. Both I think it's the 25th anniversary of Bigger, Longer, Uncut. The South Park movie is going to be re-released, and there may be a 60th anniversary of a movie called Blazing Saddles. It's going to be released in June. Is it 60? 75?
Is it that old?
It would be the 50th.
50th? Okay.
Yes. So it's
I'll
very
ask.
Important anniversary.
Yeah. Did you guys ever watch the Joel Cerno show Nikita?
La Femme Nikita?
No, Nikita the show.
Nikita the show. No. I did like La Femme Nikita and what is it? Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda.
Yeah.
I thought that was Gabriel Byrne. I thought it was good.
Yeah, the La Femme Nikita was Luc Besson. But no, the reason I ask is because I thought that was a good show too. And what's funny is it deals with a lot of the current, powerful chick boss kind of a hero, and Dollhouse does it well.
Yep.
And
Nikita was actually the second TV version of that, because they did a La Femme Nikita, was it USA, with Peter Wilson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, Maggie Q was
she was in the remake.
Was in the remake, which was brilliant. And well, at least the first season was. But like I said, I mean, that's the girl boss done right. I mean, the Dollhouse was the Dushku.
Elijah
Dushku.
Elijah Dushku. Yeah,
Dushku.
Dushku.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Mars Money Gas, I hated Dollhouse. Sorry about that. But yeah. And I mean, again, if you want to do that stuff right, you can. There was a bunch of stuff on, I think people are pointing out, USA Television and stuff like that. I mean, there were some good shows that were just past the time shows. One of those being, and I'm not a particular affinity for an actress on it, but is that Suits show that everybody's watching right now. And again, it goes back to a time, or maybe the last time, where it had a broader appeal than a niche audience. And I think that's how Hollywood and these studios have essentially, went full Harry Carey on themselves. But that aside, it is what it is. It is what it is.
And dead air.
Yeah, well, we probably should be wrapping up, because I do have some Mother's Day duties to attend to.
Oh, No Way Out is what it's called. Sorry. Thanks.
Twin Peaks was peak television back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they didn't know where to go with it. Tom, what do you think about the original Twin Peaks?
It's all right. It's been a long time since I watched it.
Putin's cat. Well, on that suicide note,
I don't think they quite got the license right for the restaurant, though.
Yeah. Well, Jason, I know you do things. I'm glad you're feeling better. What are you promoting?
At some point this week, we are going to probably have episode 700 of Live from the Bunker.
Yay.
Maybe Thursday. I'm not sure. I want to do it in a spot where I'm not up against everybody else and we're all competing for the same eyeballs, because a lot of us have the same viewers.
We share an audience. Yep.
And I'm figuring that out. So maybe Thursday. I'm not
Sounds
sure.
Great.
I got to get around a work schedule and some other stuff. So and get back to feeling 100% still. So that's what I'm doing.
You're very phlegmy.
That's this week. 700.
You're amazing. You're amazing. Speaking of amazing, my hetero life mate, Tom, who says I killed his show. Tom's dead.
I like turtles.
Oh, there he is.
Oh. Tom, promote something, please. I'll give you $1. He's mad at me. I don't know why. But the guy that's not mad at me is this little, what do you call him, germ dude.
Oh, what? Not mad at you for not telling me you were doing this?
I told you I was doing it.
Yeah, but you didn't say you were doing it early.
Nobody reads the chat.
I was shopping with Mrs. We had a good time.
Nobody reads.
Culture's doing some stuff.
Thank you.
He does these 6-minute dailies, and so they're for 6 minutes minimum, and they're daily.
Yeah.
And they happen sometime around like 10 Central.
Yeah.
From around there.
Yeah.
And he's on shows with Mr. H. He's on Midnight's Edge. He's Dark. He does his own thing. Saturday he does this news break thing. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
And you need to go out and Go to beachpunk.us and pick yourself up some Culture Casino, colorful plumage.
There you go.
Culture Casino. I heard he's gay.
Gay, gay, gay. He's so fucking gay, 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 gay.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, I got a clean version. Did I tell you? Did I show you the clean version?
Yeah.
I just hope that we can make you question your life choices. That's it.
Every night, every morning when I wake up. All right. Who said that line?
People think it's funny.
Well, I bet they do.
These are my friends.
Here's another one. Here we go. Some people thought that was funny.
Well,
I
like, which one
believe this
better,
is
though?
a Spanish for that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I can send you that one too, Tox. You can do an
There's
alternate
another
version
one.
with.
But do check out the new Beach Monk. That'd be cool too.
Putin
Do check
wants me
out
to
the
play
new
it
Beach
again.
Monk gear that's coming out.
Mhm.
Tox is-
Gay, gay. He's so fucking gay,
There's a request.
gay, gay, gay.
There you go.
I think you're just fine, Culture.
On that
There's
note,
nothing wrong with being gay.
I had a good time. We're not going to waste your time anymore. We're going to play the outro.
We play the
Check
outro.
out Beach Funk.
You gonna go do that Gary thing?
What?
No, I'm not doing that. I got told not to do that. So I think
Get all the clothes you need, cut socks and more. This is one hell of a store. Footfunk.us. It's Beach Punk. Yeah, beachpunk.us. Go. Okay, find beachpunk.us. US. That's what I said.
Not responsible for any rashes that the cocksocks cause.
Amen to that.
so. That's our small print.
Yeah. Well,
It's
you
really
wouldn't want
small
to be
print.
responsible for any cock rash, would you?
No.
That's right.
Oh my God, the cock.
Rash.
All right. Well,
What'd you do?
because there's no other shows going that I know of, I'm redirecting you to a morning show tomorrow, which is over on Loki's Mornings of Mischief. So and go look out, find amazing people. We have them everywhere in the fellowship. And on that note, play the
I heard it's not gay unless you push back.
outro.
What is this thing called? A Gary clip?
No, do not play that.
No.
Okay, here's the rules on the Gary clip. If we get $100 super chat all at once, we play the Gary
Who
clip.
would do that though? That is a
don't know.
horrible incentive.
No, that's my point. Because people
Why would
don't
you do
like it.
that though?
People don't like
they
it.
don't like it, so why would you expect them to pay you for it?
I'm just saying, if somebody wanted that clip,
Tell them if you want to see the gay clip, then they'll pay for it. They'll pay to see you act gay.
Mm-hmm.
Tina Guzman says, "Where are the commercials?" Okay, the commercials are coming back. We're by sometime in mid-June. This show's rebooting for season 2.
Yes.
And it'll be roughly the same, except all the commercials that people enjoy will be back. All this other stuff that we had in the background will be back. And
we got to redo Sherry's Slam and Clam, and
Yep.
we've got a second and third commercial for that
Slam
plan.
that clam.
Yeah.
I do have. So Hobo Gandalf is a thing,
It
and
is.
Hobo Gandalf is sponsored by this commercial.
Okay.
This Pixel Entertainment Network international streaming service presentation is brought to you by Muffs Bar. Muffs along the Riverwalk has been a popular but hard to find pearl in the heart of San Antonio's Forest District. So popular, in fact, our Little Muffs is growing. The new home to the biggest clams in the South is located at 6969 Kamanawanalia Boulevard in glistening Glaze City, Texas. Come by and let us flash you our new muffs today. And remember, Muffs Bar, finger-licking good since 1969.
And there you go. So on that note, we have We have an amazing group of people here this evening, and those that have left us, including Jolly. But we're going to have more coming up here on next Sunday when we're back at our regular time for Late Night Culture. On that note, here comes the outro. Prepare your AOs. Yes, Jason.
I was just saying bye to the chat.
Okay, bye the chat.
Is it the one called New Credits? No, it's called Outro. That's rather smart.
Tom Bale. Tom.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back.
Tell your mom Happy Mother's Day. See ya.